Hello. There's nobody there. I didn't announce that I was going to do a live or anything. I couldn't sleep, so I thought, you know what? I'll jump on. I'll just put it on for my subscribers. I'm hoping that it's like the middle of Sunday for most of the people that watch in America. I know some people do in Australia, and it's going to be super late. I'll hang around for a little minute and see if anybody pops on. Got my coffee in a giant thingy-bob. I wonder if this is even working. Oh my Lord. Hello. Thank you for joining me. Can you hear me? Hello, Erica, DR, Toy, Thomas. Can everyone hear me okay? I couldn't set this up properly before. Yay. I know you can't see me too well. It's really dark. It's like really, really late at night. So I hope you can see me okay. Loud and clear. Good-o. I couldn't sleep, so I thought, I'm going to just jump on and have a chat and say hello to everyone because I've missed everyone. Yeah, hi Melanie. I didn't put anything up. I just was pressing buttons and then bam, here I am. How is everyone? Erica, how are you? Well, how is everyone? Toy, Thomas, how are you? Lauren, DR, Melanie, I hope you're doing well. I was going to pop up and do a Scribble Maps video on Natal and SoDo after the reading, that huge reading that I did, but I don't know how to put 2 things or 3 things on the page. Hello, Demid. I'm glad everyone's doing well. I've got my coffee in like a water bottle, no, a thermos. It's essential. I haven't got my glasses on. I turned 50 this year. Okay, now that sucks. Not only the transits that go along with it, but just in general, 50. What should we talk about? You tell me what you want to talk about. I've been alone with my thoughts for like 2 years now, so the brain's a bit... 7 people in here, yay. I don't know how to make it not only subscribers either. I really should learn how to use this thing. Oh, I don't know. It's better with my subscribers anyway. Oh, there's more talking. Sorry, I didn't even see it. Okay, because I'm like so old and shit, I have to go real close or semi-far away. What are your best tips for using forensic astrology to find someone? Keep it simple, even though half the time I don't keep it simple at all. and it just evolves into the most non-simple thing ever. But realistically, when you're looking for someone, and if you're doing a map, you want that AC line to see where they might be, the IC degrees for miles outwards, and the AC, you can use that for miles outwards as well. I interchange them and use them for miles outwards and directions at this point. It seems to work both ways. But mainly just the most important thing is know that the AC is the victim and the DC is the perpetrator. The IC is the end of the matter. Utilize those and know your rulers. Actually, that's the most important thing, is knowing your rulers, because if you do know the rulerships for a lot of things, then it points to where people are as well. Oh, happy 50th, Toy. Hope you don't feel as crowded as I did when I turned 50. Summer Wells, yeah, I've done a few of summer, and I did another one actually not long ago, but I didn't put it up. But if you look at my other videos, like the moon line is really important. So it's south of where her house is, and I really actually think that she's really close to her property. I can't not think that, but I can have a look at it again. Do I think that Jen will be arrested? Yep, 100%. She will be arrested. It'll be on some innocuous charge, and then it will develop into something more and more and more, and then she'll be just as culpable as he is. And I truly think that she was a big part of it, and probably did the whole thing with him. Hello, Sam. I was going to say 5 a.m. Hello, Sam and Mary. Good morning. What am I doing with myself? Well, I bought this house after Bear passed away. So I had Pluto on my IC at 29 degrees of Capricorn, swinging around when my darling Bear passed away. And right as that happened, of course, we got immediately evicted out of the house after Bear passed away. So I had to buy this house. So I'm trying to do that up, and I've been really writing a lot in my new forensic astrology book. Like, it's not volume 2. It's a much better volume 1. But it's just taken me ages because I'm not a great editor. Do I have any books or resources on this that you have used? Well, Lauren, I wrote my own book, and it's through my own research of over like 20 years. I've been a professional astrologer for 35 years. So it's my own research, but also Dave Campbell, he knows a lot about it. He's really good. And there's a couple of other people out there that we all sort of learned around the same time. So I think this is a bit of a new thing. Stephanie, hello. Do I use modern rulerships? Yep. Excuse me, I use both. I always go to the modern rulership and then the ancient, because it tells a story irrespective of which one you use. I hope I've got the people in here that don't mind if I have a cigarette soon, because I think that's going to have to happen. Hi, Pinky. Would I be interested in doing a video on Noah Presgrove? I don't know who Noah Presgrove is. Sam, can you tell me about that? I'll read a couple of the other things, and then I'll hopefully you can tell me about that case a little. Melanie has a question about mapping, if that's okay. Of course it is. That's what I'm here for. In the Sebastian Rogers case, since the stepfather made the call to report him missing, should we map from the location the stepfather was? Oh, that's actually an interesting question. You can, because I believe that you can really, really play around with times and who's doing what. I think, though, from personal experience, the most accurate is using where Sebastian left from the house. I'm assuming that the stepdad made the call from there as well. If not, you could certainly give it a go. Gosh, it's not going to hurt. But yeah, I would use his home address, which can be hard to get home addresses, although that's pretty public, so I'm sure. Actually, I think I've seen his address. Well, I have. I've mapped it. I've actually done Sebastian Rogers a few videos ago. I know, Erica, I hope Summer's found as well. I think she will be. And I just think that I have a theory that she died in the car, she overheated in the car, and they've covered it up. But that might not be a popular theory. They've covered it up, and I think she'll be found. Oh, how beautiful. I know. I bought this today. I think it was handmade. I got it from the second-hand shop, the op shop. I love it. It's so cute. And my giant coffee. Do you think there was foul play with Riley Strain? And my gosh, I have been so out of what's been going on. I don't know the case of Riley Strain. And maybe if you can put, if you've got an exact time, I can pop it on my phone. There's my darling. Pop it on my phone and I could have a look at the chart for these ones that you're talking about. Is the moon in the 18th degree always bad? I don't see it as being bad. The moon in 29 degrees, that's bad. 18 degrees, not from my experience, because the moon's just always at 29 degrees when something bad's happened. That's not saying that it's not. It just could be. Oh, in a natal chart? No. No, nothing's bad in a natal chart. I don't believe that. Well, actually, I'm the one person that should believe that. My natal chart has shown so many awful things and explicit timing events. But still, I don't believe that the particular degrees and whatever are bad. I think transits and external forces hitting those degrees make things bad. I hope that makes sense. Hey, 10. I am doing well. I'm much better. I was in bad depression. I just stayed in bed a lot of the time. Riley Strain. I still don't know who that is. World War III. I don't think there's going to be a World War III. I've felt that for many years. When I did the video in 2019 that said the government are going to keep us in our houses for some reason, which was COVID, it was really clear to me on that chart that I was looking at that even though USA was having a Pluto return and all this really shit stuff's happening, no, I don't see it. I don't see it. Hi, Jersey Devil. Thank you. So many people have said I've been missed, and that's so sweet. I thought I would have just dropped off the radar. What are the parallel differences between horary and forensic? Oh, Stephanie, that's an interesting question. I don't know. Who knows? All I know is that I'm a conduit. No, that's stupid. The parallels and differences, like, are minimal. Horary astrology and forensic relate really, really well. If you can do horary astrology, you can do criminal forensic astrology, because all you need to do is learn the rulerships for each of the planets and put them in terms of, knives and guns and weaponry and criminal activity and stuff like that. So you're just changing all the meanings of the horary words into criminal words, basically. Tani, oh, you guys, I've missed you so much. So happy to see you too. Thank you for coming on. People have changed their names, but so I've got to get up close to see. Can't wait for my second book. Well, I made a full-on mission that I was going to finish editing by the 1st of December, and then I thought, that's ridiculous. That's like, I published the first one in 2018, and then I've published a couple in between. And really now I'm just going back on the first one, but making it super extensive. So I can't wait for it to. And it's going to be way better than that tiny little thing that I wrote when I first, when I first wanted to get it out. There's lots and lots and lots more. How I did like Brian Koberger and did the profile of what he looked like, and that there was something going on in this part of his face and stuff like that. I've put all that in the book as well. So like every degree will have a different body part related to it, from the very top of Aries to the bottom of your feet, being Pisces, 360 degrees, and they'll relate to every part of the body. So that'll help too. Not that you asked that. Susie Q, hello. Oh, thank you for keeping my other book on you at all times. I'm a bit embarrassed about that because it's so minimal. I should have done way more. And I've got permission from America to smoke. I'm going to do it. I know I shouldn't, but you know what? You can live happily and healthily and whatever for 48 years and suddenly get cancer of the pancreas and die. So, whatever. I won't flaunt it in your faces in case you can't smoke. Oh, Stephanie's had a smoke, probably finished it by now. Stepfather called from Memphis, not home. Ah, really? I did watch an interview with them too, and I have to say, even though like I know what grief feels like because I've lost a child and I've lost a husband and everything, and grief doesn't look a lot like, well, it certainly doesn't look like Jennifer SoDo, that's for sure. But them two, I don't know, there's a lot of physical sort of cues that make me think that they probably didn't do anything, but still, you still have to have a look at the charts, obviously. You can't rule someone out because you think they look okay. So, yeah, do it from Memphis for sure. If you think, I don't think this, I don't know, but if you think that he had something to do with it and he's ringing from Memphis and it's 3 hours away, yes, do it. I mean, we should do as many maps as we can, even though they don't use them. Toys smoking too. Yep, smoke them if you've got them. I quit smoking for a while and it was boring. I stopped drinking coffee. I quit smoking this and the other stuff. God. Not going to do that again. Okay. And Pinky's having a smoke too. Yay. Yeah, there is a major cover-up with Summer, for sure. I mean, the kids know something. The boys know something. They're not involved. but they know something, they were taken away and all that. What happened with that? All we ever see is pissed Candace and idiotic Don Wells. The stepfather left for a few days. This is Sebastian after his disappearance. They've been watching all video. How does the map work if they have seen your video? That is a really good question, because I know through the 350 odd or whatever and more videos, I know in my heart that someone, because they would be scouring the internet, I'm sure of it, and I had a horrible feeling actually with Letitia Stout, believe it or not. I thought she was watching and possibly moving Gannon because of it as well. So it's a double-edged sword. Hey, what do? I want it to be out there, and we all want these poor babies and people that go missing to be found. But how do I do it secretly? If I could go straight to the police, which I used to be able to go to a couple of people, but they've gone. I don't know. That one bothers me all the time. Hey, Roo. Is that Roo? Roo. Hooray. Oh, Roo. Roo has been holding up my forensic astrology group for so long now. She's just an absolute legend. I love you, Roo. Oh, you, Tani, you did the Riley one. Oh, sorry. I've got the memory of 10-second Tom. It's getting a little bit better, but I know, I'm with it now. You have a whole write-up. Yes, I remember. I pinned it to the board, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Susie Q. I know, and Move the Body. I mean, if you were watching everything about the crime that you'd committed and you stumbled across someone that says, I know where they are with a map, I have no doubt that you would probably go, shit, I'm going to have to get back there and move them. But then, a lot of them are psychopaths, so maybe they don't care. Maybe they're so narcissistic that they don't do that. And if they were going to watch anyone, probably they would just watch the true crime YouTubers that just talk about everything. And when I'm just babbling all about astrology, they'd be like, blah, blah, blah. What an idiot she is. He was drinking with friends, got kicked out of the bar, and was found floating in the creek, dead. Oh, hang on, who's that? I don't know who that is, Erica. I got confused. I recently read that the moon at 29 Cancer is the millionaire's degree. Well, I don't have tons of experience with the millionaire's degree of that, but my mum has it. She's not short of a bob or two. In the 8th house, along with a bunch of other stuff that begins in Cancer. When my dad passed away, she inherited a lot of money. So, yeah, that could well be true. Toy Thomas, yours is full of 18 and 22 degrees. And do you read those as being anoretic degrees or whatever it is, like bad luck? Because I never see those. I never see them. Even repetitively, and you see so many things repetitively. 26 is more repetitive than 18 and 22 in my mind. Thank you for saying that you're glad I'm feeling better. I've been watching, I know this is probably silly, but I haven't had any visitations or dreams or anything. Bear hasn't come through to me at all. I was like, do I see a psychic? What do I do? what the hell's going on? And with the knowledge that I have in my head, it's just like, this is just crazy. How can the universe not help me and show me what's going on? But I watched Tyler Henry over and over and over and over again, and that guy, oh my goodness, he just did something in me that just made me feel like, okay, this is really important. And it wasn't him just reading people, it was him explaining that timing and non-coincidental timing is everything. And that's how I feel about the astrology and the mapping as well. Will Trump be safe? Oh my gosh, you're going to get me in trouble, Erica. If I ever talk about Trump, I get so much hassle. I don't think so, actually. I'm sorry if you like him. No, I don't think so. I don't think he's safe, and I don't think I thought that he'd be around, but I don't see him being around anymore. So no, I know it's coming up election time. I don't really know how everyone feels about all of that stuff, but no, I don't see him being around. Whether he's dead or not, I'm not sure, but I don't think he's going to be around. Well, thank you, Erica, for telling heaps of people about me. Can you tell them to go onto my channel and subscribe? I need to make some more money. How do you tell the weapon used? So the 7th house, or the DC, is the perpetrator. And if there's planets in it, or if there's an aspect to the 7th house cusp, the degrees to a planet that's really close, I mean, tight orbs, 1 degree or 0 degrees preferably, usually it goes straight to a weapon. So quite often you'll see Mars is the ruler of the 7th house, the perpetrator, and then you have a look at an aspect and it will go straight up to literally Mars at the same degree. And it's like, okay, well, that's a blunt object, a gun, a knife, a metal, a Mars object. If it aspected Neptune, if it was Jupiter on the DC and it aspected Neptune, or Pisces, sorry, and it aspected Neptune, and possibly aspected Jupiter, which happens a lot, then you'd be looking at alcohol and drugs and Neptunian themes. But in the book, the new book, I've actually written a whole section on weapons, so hopefully that'll be helpful. Yeah, there will be a book. I keep saying that though, but it's getting close. It's big. It's a lot bigger than the first one. But I just want to get it really fleshed out so it answers everything. Hello, Passion Flower. The chart of the perp just absolutely blew me away on Koberger. Yeah, me too. That was crazy. And then when you pop his birth chart even over the event, that's a weird one as well. End of next Mercury retrograde is December 15th. The retrograde is usually when I back into myself and have some introspective thoughts. But lately, it's just Mercury retrograde. The Brian Koberger case has me so sad. Oh my God, my eyes are so bad. What is it when you turn like 45? You can't see everything they're asking for, they're getting. I know he got that swap of venue, but as if it's going to make any difference. Koberger, give me a fucking break. He's still in bloody Idaho or whatever. Boise. Like, unless everyone's been under a rock or in a cave, they know what he did. Thank you, SJ. I've seen heaps of people doing forensic astrology and doing mapping, and they do mention me, and that's so lovely. I really like that. Delia, you accidentally clicked onto YouTube. Wasn't an accident. You were meant to come here. Excuse me. It's those cigarettes. No, not really. Vaping and drinking coffee. Hooray! I don't like vapes because they're so strong that they just make me cough all the time. Two different tarot readers told you that you need to give up coffee. Pinky, is that because of blood pressure? Because after everything that I've gone through, my blood pressure started just going absolutely through the roof. I'm on 3 different blood pressure tablets now just to try and keep it semi under control. So if they told you that, maybe get your blood pressure checked and see whether you need to go on some sort of blood pressure medication. But yeah, coffee definitely doesn't help, because when I wasn't having coffee, my blood pressure was heaps better. I actually don't know if Mercury's in retrograde right now. I don't pay attention to it. It's bad, eh? Kelly, you sent me an email. The father wants to be able to zoom in on your chart to find places to search. Okay. I'll look at I've got like 30,000 emails that I need to try and dredge through. Most of them bills, so I don't want to look at them. But I will look for yours, Kelly, and I can then do a video to zoom in on places. But also on the links, if you click on the link on a computer, on the Scribble Maps link that I put in the descriptions, it'll open up the map. You've got to be careful because it can move things around, but then you can zoom right in and look at all the streets and stuff like that. So it can be done that way as well. But I'll look for your email. Is there anything in a chart that indicates a crime will never be solved or a person will never be found? I haven't seen anything in particular that indicates that. I can see, usually, like looking at the moon, usually I can see if they're going to be found. If the ruler of them, like, the ascendant ruler sits in the 12th house, it's not great because they're hidden from view and it's hard to find them. So that's probably one thing that you would have a look at for that. But I generally am pretty optimistic in that even if a person is deceased, that they will be found at some point. Mercury retrograde starts November 25th. Right when Pluto finally moves away from my IC at that 29 degrees. Thank God. Yes, you shared it to the Facebook group, I remember. Juniper, hello. So happy to see you. Oh, thank you I know you always use my book. I watch your videos and you're always looking at my book, and I'm like, I saw you looking at it and it had the house cusps. And I was like, what the hell? I've written like 3 things for the house cusps. So you're going to be really, really, really happy with the new book, because it's so much more on houses and stuff like that. Your birthday is on the 29th of the 11th. Well, that's okay. 29's okay. It's just when we see a 29-degree moon or a 29-degree angle, that's when things go bad. Okay, I'm going to have to look into some cases. Obviously, I've missed a heap. Tyler Henry is amazing. There's something about that guy. He looks like water, like he's a Capricorn. I could see he was a Capricorn because he kept on talking about structure and anti-structure. And I'm like, oh man, this guy's got some structural issues. He's Capricorn. And he's got heaps of planets in Capricorn in his 4th and 5th house. He's a Libra moon and a Virgo rising. So, like, he seems really sort of a bit OCD and repeats himself and stuff like that. But oh my goodness, he's so sweet and he's got such a gift, and I feel really, really sorry for him. I was a little bit worried about him the other day. I saw him and I thought, oh no, I felt as though he might have something wrong with his lungs again. So I really hope not. I'd actually love to interview him and see what he thought about this type of thing. Hey, cool Molly. Tani, if you watch Tyler Henry, don't just watch like the old, when he was young, reading the celebrities. What you want to do is look on YouTube and find him having like rando interviews with just YouTubers. He talks for hours, and his perspective on life and death is just like, love it. Toy Thomas doesn't usually count on the 18-20 degree of death dangers unless it's a crime chart. So not much on personal. Yeah. I don't see the same things on crime charts as on personal charts. So I always try and say that it's not the same. Algol sitting near the MC, yeah, that's not good. Algol on any angles, bad. Okay, I'm going to have to write my book a whole lot quicker. Yeah, that's true. It is a good time to revise it. So maybe I was right in thinking that I should wait until December. I mean, shit, it's been like years already, so I should probably wait. Jersey Devil is 47 and can't see anything without glasses. Same. I can't even see myself on here and barely see the writing. Lucy Letby. Yeah, I read about her. I didn't look at her chart though. But I wouldn't mind doing a series or something one day about, killer nurses and people that are supposed to look after people. Because there's a whole ton of those. Hopefully this judge will move it along faster now. Coburger, that is. Yeah, I hope so. These cases just take forever, don't they? They just go on and on and on and on. Just convict him. Fucking put him in jail. Kill him. Whatever. Oh, you're getting a time for Sebastian's birthday. That would be interesting. I don't often use natal charts, but it is good to put, with the event chart to see what was going on. Kirsty described BK to a T before they even caught him. Yeah, that was really weird. I couldn't believe it when I saw his face. Juniper noticed the Pisces, and it made me think Jupiter and Pisces extra big feet. Yeah, I thought that too. I could just see that he was just a really super big guy, but there was something real munted going on here, and it was just his nose. Jersey Devil. I just had open heart bypass surgery last Friday. Oh my goodness. Had to quit smoking, but I'm never giving up coffee. Well, I highly recommend giving up smoking for sure. Sorry that I smoked a cigarette. I probably will have another one, but I really hope that you're healing well and feeling okay. Make sure you rest. Melanie can relate to my experience. You do readings and help grieving people all the time. After your mum passed, she didn't come for me for a while. It made me so angry and I just wanted to quit. That's exactly how I have felt. It's just like, if anyone could come through, it would be him. And if anyone could come through anywhere, then surely it could be at least to me through some type of means. So it's been, that's been a hard journey. Kidney function. My kidneys are actually, if this is to me, my kidneys are actually okay. Everything's okay except for my blood pressure, but it's because my anxiety levels just absolutely through the roof at times. I go into PTSD moments. I feel like I'm depersonalized and floating above my body. It's like super Neptunian and very disconcerting, but with all the pressure of the blood pressure. But it's okay at the moment. Oh, I'm glad that you're doing well since the surgery. Oh, you had kidney stones, Pinky. So maybe do you have high blood pressure? I wonder. Smudge? No. Smudge is trying to get involved here. You've got my book memorised. It's not hard. There's only like 99 pages. No, I'm only messing. I use your book constantly. This is Juniper. I'm not comfortable doing a crime chart without it next to me. There's so much I need to learn. And you will with the new book. I'll give you a new book. I'll give a bunch of people the new book. You won't have to pay for it. You've been waiting for so long. Erica, I still want a baby. My only hope is SoDo stem cell treatment in Serbia. I would have to do a GoFundMe. It's 14,000. Wow. I should do it now. It would be too late. Give the GoFundMe a go, please, because I can try and help. I've got some friends somewhere that have got pages that have more people as well. So please do, and then pass it to me so I can help share that around, Erica. Yeah, I've noticed. Look, there's Smudge in the corner there, sniffing what's going on. I have also noticed Capricorn placement people are really intuitive, but they stifle it down sometimes. Tyler Henry has Sun, Neptune, 2 degrees apart. Yeah, both in Capricorn, aren't they? In that 4th or going into the 5th house. He's always talking about ego and not the dissolution of ego, but how it's important to build on ego. So I find his Sun and Neptune interesting. Yeah, Tani, you should have a look at it, but it's also really sad watching him go through the physical ailments of everything that he feels. The poor guy, he's just sweating and goes pale and then has major health issues. It's not nice to watch. Hello, Julie from the UK. More about Sebastian. Yeah, killer nurses would be good, wouldn't it? Be interesting. Why would somebody that would want to look after somebody want to kill them? Cancer IC, cradle to the grave, killer caregivers. Yeah, that's the truth. Definitely. Hello, Graceful Reiki in Canada. Hello, Naomi. Hello in California, Ruby girl. Oh, thank you, Delia, for the $2. Thank you very much. I can do another horary lesson. I did a few of them and then thought, oh, this might be a bit boring, but I can definitely do more for sure. Hello, little Miss Sharon from Victoria. My goodness, it must be late over there. Juniper, I lost my entire family to cancer. It's a very long and difficult grieving period. I'm so sorry. It would have been absolutely awful. Grief comes in waves. Grief comes in waves. Yeah, it does. Some big waves hit me hard and knock me down, and then some little waves make me remember. Yeah, me too. But my waves come in a way that it takes me out of my body, and physically I can't handle it. So it'd be nice if that just buggers off for a while. Tani, oh, I am so pleased at how you've come so long now in remission. I remember doing the chart and I remember sitting there being like, oh, I don't do charts with this sort of thing, and I'm so glad that I did. We've become such good friends. Capricorn is the gateway to the gods. Yeah. Shame it's just so bloody hard. I find Cancer and Capricorn really tricky, but it's my MC's Cancer and my IC's Capricorn. And yeah, both at 29 degrees. So when something hits it, it's just bam, catch you later, or whatever's going to happen. It is really hard to ask for help, Erica, but you can do it. Just make the GoFundMe, send it to me, send it to some other people, but mainly also just chuck it all over Twitter and any place you can. Just put it absolutely anywhere. Even go onto cryptocurrency pages in Twitter and then have a look through it, who's got tons and tons of money. Pop it in there. Some of them like to think that they're philanthropists, so they might be able to help. I'm interested in Indian astrology. I just don't have enough room in my brain to possibly learn any more astrology, I don't think. I'm starting to learn a little bit about Hellenistic astrology, whole sign astrology, but for perfection years and stuff like that. No, maybe in another lifetime I may be able to learn Indian astrology or Eastern astrology. Shout out to the Capricorns. I love them. I love them too. I think Capricorn moons are super funny. They make me laugh. 3:36 a.m. Oh no, I thought I couldn't sleep. That's bad. Juniper, you've done some nurse charts. Ooh, I'll have to have a look at those. Is it Delia? Your IC is Cancer and Cap MC, Jupiter conjunct MC, and you're so right, yeah. Sucks, doesn't it? Hello, me. I look exhausted, but I think it's there's bags under there too, but it's the light. My light the light's making my eyes look really dark. I am tired, but I'm not exhausted. I'm exhausted, but not tired. It's just a part and parcel of not being able to go to sleep. Also, I haven't got my glasses on, so I can't see shit. I wonder if I can add other people in now, because I've only got the subscribers. My Gemini never quiets down. It's my daughter. She's a Gemini. I walk around talking to myself and answering my own questions. Me too, but I think that's because I'm old. um, oh, thank you, Delia. That's so sweet of you. Thank you. Big hugs as well. Big giant hugs. Next time I do a live, I'll put it in some decent light. So, oh, thank you, Juniper. I know that I need to do this in the true crime community. I just need it to all flood back in a whole lot better, you know. Pinky has a Gemini moon and talks to herself as well. And Smudge just farted. That's disgusting. She wants to go inside. Excuse me 1 second. Great. Farts, leaves me with the gross smell, and then goes inside. Hello, Trisha. Good to see you again as well. Juniper, you're a Cancer, Sun and Moon, Mercury in Pisces, in the 8th house in Scorpio, in the 4th house. I'm a mess too and constantly talking to myself. I think we're all a bit. They have a true crime convention. We need to speak there about the astrology. Yes, yeah, we do. I really want to talk to someone about it. I want to talk to a mathematician or somebody that knows space and time or something to, you know, either tell me that it's wrong or then essentially prove that it's right after doing that. But yeah, I'd love to talk at a convention. What does my natal chart look like? Not pretty. Not pretty at all. Okay, I have Libra rising and Uranus is conjunct my ascendant exactly. I've got Chiron opposite that on the DC in Aries exactly. I have Pluto in the 12th house. I have my Sun is at 6 degrees of Leo in the 10th house, making a trine is at 6 degrees 56 minutes of Leo, and it's making a perfect trine to Neptune in the 2nd house at 6 degrees 56 Sagittarius. So I have major issues with my career and my self-worth and getting paid and all the rest of it and stuff like that. That's a big thing. My Sun is intercepted in my 10th house. I have Jupiter in Pisces in the 5th house, which is trining all the other planets, which are Venus, Mercury, and Saturn in Cancer in the 9th house, and Mars in Virgo in the 10th house at 1 degree. So, yeah, it's okay, I suppose. At least it's allowed me to do the astrology. Thank you, Delia. That's so sweet. Can I like that? Oh yeah, I can. I can love it and like it. No, I can't like it. Okay. Pinky looks tired no matter what. Yeah, me too. Life's tiring. It's tiring as. Venus in Gemini conjunct Mercury in Taurus in the 7th. I talk to myself and animals. That makes sense. Little Miss Sharon's a Cancer. Heaps of Geminis. Saggy. I've got a Saggy moon. Oh, I forgot about my moon. I've got a Saggy moon at 26 degrees of Saggy. I would love for you to do a map on me, Erica. What, like literally a map on you? Or map you? to the heavens. I would love to help and do that. That's okay. I don't mind sharing my chart. I don't often give it out or anything, but I don't mind. You guys are good friends. Uranus on the ascendant. Was my birth exciting, eventful, or abrupt? My birth was hell on earth, apparently. I was born with the cord wrapped around my head here, which makes my eye go up and like it caught my eye. My mother nearly bled to death. I was born like early, had to be vacuumed out. There was so much horrible shit that went on when I was born. So, yeah, Uranus really does rule a whole lot of everything in my life, including giving me little insights into things too. So, I like it. It's okay. Kelly says, if Sebastian was taken somewhere initially and then placed in water, would the initial location also show up on the chart? Yeah, it does. You can look at a couple of areas to see what's happened, but usually by doing a couple of charts, if you've got some good, well-timed charts, 1 to 3 sort of timed charts. Hello, Indigo Key Wisdom. Yeah, email me, Erica, please. Definitely email me. I have to set my options on my page to encourage super chats. Yeah, I know, I do. I don't do any of that. I never say, subscribe and like and do all this sort of stuff. I just organically hope that it's going to happen, but I will. I need to focus on that and do that. $20. Oh my goodness. You are so special, talented, and gifted. Thank you for being up so late, down under, and coming on for us. You made my 50th birthday week start with a great bang. Oh, I'm so glad. I knew that I got up out of bed for a reason. And that was for your 50th birthday week. Yes, Stephanie. Yep, I've known that for a while. Yeah, the Uranus ascendant is definitely a hard one. Cancer rising, Cancer, Mars, Saturn in the first house. Got lots of Cancer, lots of Gemini. Oh, hello, Marjorie. It's the first time catching a live. Well, you're going to see me in all my glory. I drink coffee out of a water thing, and every now and then I'll have a cigarette. So I do apologise, and I hope you don't mind that. I'm not going to stay on too long. So I will have another cigarette, but just bear with me for 1 second. Oh, is the sound okay? Sebastian's mapping, yeah, I think he will be found. I just think they're looking in the wrong spot. So I'm interested to see about the person that said that they should do a last seen location from where the stepfather rang the police, because that's going to give another area. I would like to see that. That'd be good. Thank you, Marjorie. Oh, the sound is okay. Okay. Now I wonder. Just bear with me. Oh no, sorry. I'm coming back. Okay, I think I've turned it on now so other people can watch it and not just the subscribers. So I just wanted to give an hour at least to my lovely subscribers because you've all stuck with me for so long, and I know I don't give very much, but I'm gonna try a whole lot more. Passion flower, Scorpio rising, Uranus on MC. Mum nearly died at your birth. She was given the last rites, and Dad had to pick which doctor would say if he picked who he would say if he picked Mum. Oh, that's a hard one, isn't it? But you're here, so yay! Thank God for that. Yeah, exactly. Meant to be, absolutely meant to be here. Oh, Delilah's got all the great things to say. Can I suggest also making an Amazon wish list for things you may need to do the wonderful work you do, like a table ring light that you can move around, and then your subbies can gift you with these. Yeah, I should do that as well. I bought one of those lights and I just never even set it up. I just sit here in the dark like a bloody meathead. Maybe if I held it up a bit more. It's probably better in the dark so you don't see how bloody tired I look. But thank you for your suggestions. I will definitely look into that because I've been sitting on like 6,000 subscribers, which is fantastic. But I'd really like to get it a bit more just to get a little bit more passive income to make sure that I can do all of this better. I need to buy some astrology programs as well. He called on a three-way. Kelly says he called on a three-way with Sebastian's mother on a non-emergency number from St. Jude Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee at 6:30 a.m. Ooh. I'm gonna take a photo of that comment. So I can have a look at that myself because that's interesting. You always have to look at different things. You know, I applaud you, Kelly, for looking into exactly what happened because, you know, if I could do a chart and from the house and that he called from the house, but obviously he didn't call from the house. And I'm pretty sure the chart that I did was the 911 call as well. So yeah, I'm very interested in that. I don't know if you put videos up on YouTube or if you're in my group or anything, but please tell me about it. But I'm also going to have a look at it too. Just popping in to say how I love your work. Hi, Ben. How are you? Love what you do and what I've learned from your videos is incredible. Early morning. I hope you're well. Yeah, I know it's probably too early for some. But thank you so much for popping in and saying really lovely things. You're welcome, Kelly. It's great. I love thinking of different ideas like that. And you have to think outside the box. You know, if you just stick within that box, it's not always going to work out. And that's why sometimes you'll see me doing charts from here, there, and everywhere. Like Natal and SoDo, you know, I had like 10 charts because it was like I need to see what's going on all the way through this. So if you've got other charts to do, for sure, do it. Do I have an email address you can email me at? Yes. I think it's on my page somewhere, but you can email me at Kirsty, Kirsty, Louise, 1974 at iCloud.com. So if we do a chart from Memphis, the ascendant, the caller, or the missing child. Okay, if you're doing a chart from Memphis, but it's about the phone call, the ascendant is the missing child, but obviously, you know, he's making a call, so he's doing something. So you would consider it just a little bit in the background, but go to the third house cusp of phone calls. Then have a look at the 8th house cusp and see what's going on there and what's in the 8th house, because then the phone call often tells us what they already know. So, imagine, I don't know, imagine that Aries is on the 3rd house cusp, and then Mars, the ruler of Aries, is sitting in the 8th house. I would immediately think he's made a phone call but actually knows the outcome already because of the Mars stuff. Or Venus. In in Madeline's case, it would be like Venus. So say Taurus was on the 3rd house cusp of the phone call, and then Venus was sitting in the 8th house cusp of in the 8th house of death. He's making a phone call. Oh no, we're talking about different people, Sebastian. Anyway, making a phone call, but already knowing the outcome of that phone call. You're in the group. Oh, good, Kelly. I don't know if the names are all the same, so I'm sorry. I hope I don't sound rude. Have I ever thought of forming a think tank group that assists you? Astrologers always work alone. Imagine working in a group that helps to solve the matter at hand. I have a big handful of really good friends, and I'm a Leo. I can't look at my hair any longer like that. It looks disgusting. It's a teeny bit better. I have a group of people. Tani's in the group. Rue is in the chat, or was in the chat. And Missy and Juniper and a bunch of other people that help, and I really trust them. When I first started doing this, I had a bunch of people around me that weren't trustworthy, took it away as their own and butchered it as far as I was concerned. So unfortunately, I'm slightly dubious about collaborating on it. And yeah, us astrologers, we tend to work within ourselves because it's yeah. No, I've worked with psychics, I've worked with different people, and there's all different symbologies and different clues, but I suppose it's a control thing. I really only trust myself. That sounds bad. Let's move along. Indigo. I'm still learning how to map. Sometimes I feel guilty I can't be of more help. Me too. Don't feel guilty. You're doing the best you can. But I know that feeling. I especially know that feeling when they find the person in the location of the map and nobody's looked. It's like, why didn't you listen? It is a horrible, horrible feeling. With Sebastian's, after 10, he has Vesta, Ceres, Algol, all showing up in the awkward houses. Algol on the DC line at around midnight, and Vesta in the 8th of death. Looks very grim. It is very grim. I don't think he's not going to be found alive. It's been way too long. I'm not 100% sure whether the parents are involved. To me, I don't actually get that feeling. But if I recall correctly, he disappeared on the same day that something happened to Madeline SoDo. So when I looked at his chart, I do believe that it was virtually the same ascendant and descendant. So the first chart that I did for Madeline, Scorpio was on the ascendant and Taurus was on the descendant, and Venus and Mars were joined together in a nefarious place, and the moon was at 29 degrees in the 7th house. And then when I looked at Sebastian's, it was the same. So I was like, well, what's the difference? I know 100% that Jennifer SoDo and that fucking asshole killed Madeline. Excuse my language, sorry. I know that they did it, but I can't say the same for Sebastian's family. But then again, you're showing me more time frame, so Juniper, maybe we can have a chat about times and times that you've got, because I think I only had one time. So I'm trying to read. I played with the map a little bit last night. I need to look again. The charts are almost identical to Madeline's. Is that what I was saying? Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Isn't it the same day, the 26th of February? So that's the interesting thing about astrology as well. Like, how can you have two charts that are virtually the same but have completely different outcomes? So it leads you to believe that the parents or step parent and the mother probably did it, but I'm not seeing that. I'm going to have a really good look at those two. My Leo hair. I named a men's facial after a Leo. It's called I Love Mane Facial and Beard Treatment. I love that. You can tell a Leo anywhere, hey? Even a sun, Leo sun, not just Leo rising. The hair's just boofy as anything. And they're always so concerned about it, like me. The moon at 29 degrees for Maddie, and Sebastian's moon was at 20. Was it really at 29 degrees? Oh, yeah. Bloody was too. And I think it was in the 7th house. So what's going on there? That's weird. Because if you look at the interview with Sebastian's mother and stepfather, they're not really showing signs of deception to me. She, especially the mum, is showing signs of being pretty beside herself. But then also I haven't continued to follow it, and I don't know if they've done more interviews and stuff like that as well. Tani, you work independently so you can get the messages. Yeah, me too. Me too. So it was the same day. Okay, that will be a really interesting two charts to do. You know, pick one from Madeline's out of the 10 or whatever that there was, but pick a really good one. If anyone knows when Madeline SoDo actually got home and the mother got home as well, I'd love to know that time. I've got 11 o'clock because she's like, you know, I had to go to sleep, have to have my drugs, have to have my drugs. She has to have her drugs. He has to have his drugs. Everyone has to have their drugs. I'd like to know exactly when they got home and what they were fighting about, because they were fighting about something, probably fighting about Stephen Sicko saying, I want to go upstairs and sleep with your 13-year-old. Fucking disgusting. Okay. Hope I'm not missing things. Word of course, moon that night too. Oh, really? Maybe that's why it's hard to see exactly what's going on. Although with the Madeline SoDo one, I know what's going on. That mother needs a bullet. Sorry, I don't hold back on my opinions. I don't think anybody's really going to care. A lot of people went missing in that February. What is going on over there with people killing their children? I mean, it's been happening for years, but holy shit. A lot of people went missing in February. Juniper, I've pulled his natal chart for Sebastian, but don't have his exact birth time. We can use noon to get a basic idea of what happened, seeing where the Chiron is and his destiny. You could put the sun on the ascendant like purposely put his sun on the ascendant, and that will give you his life force as being the ascendant as well. So that's a possible idea. The difference is the way the police handled it. Yeah. They did an excellent job for Maddie, but a sketchy for Sebastian. Yeah, that's true. And it seems to be, well, to me, it seems to be how much media, how many people are interested in these things as well. And Sebastian seemed to have got lost a little bit along the way, where Maddie's just picked up because of that sicko, and now because of her mother, and everyone's just like, what? So yeah, but they did do really well. Yeah, getting his birth time will be good. Then we can see where his sun falls on the event chart to see where his life force is extinguished. The stepdad's suspicious, you think so? Lots of lies. I'm gonna have to watch more because I just watched the very first interview and I could just see some things that were like, yeah, okay, I can imagine that I'll probably say that. But I'm no expert, so I'll definitely watch some more interviews. I love watching the interviews with the media because people are so stupid. Like it's just I don't know, Chris Watts media. It's just ridiculous. They come out and think they know that they can get away with it. Like Madeline SoDo, Jennifer SoDo, and Stephen Stearns. Holy shit! How much are you going to talk about how much you need to go to sleep and oh you went here and then oh I had to turn the corner and do that. Like fucking hell. So dumb. Maddie was dropped off at her home by 8:30. Okay. So 8:30. I did the first chart at 11 o'clock, and that was showing me that there was arguments at that point. I think Jennifer came home from work and had some issues with something that happened at the party, something that Monster Stephen said or did, and there was a reason why he wanted to go up into the room, obviously, and um, and I honestly just think that Jennifer wanted her gone because she wanted Stephen. Yuck! I mean, he's disgusting. Thank you, Melanie, for telling me about that 8:30. I'm going to do a chart for 8:30 because that's probably one of the many that I didn't do. I can get the time the boyfriend arrived and the mother based on cell phone data. I just saw reports. Let me check. Oh, is that Sebastian? Okay, thank you, Cool Molly. I think the 3-hour phone call that night was silence on the phone. SoDo said that Maddie had a crush on a boy. Oh, that would make sense, wouldn't it? How dare she have a crush on a boy when she belongs to him? Ugh, what's wrong with people? Toy Thomas. I'm a Leo rising, and I've had numerous people ask me if I'm a Leo, but I'm a Libra with my Gemini with my non-stop talking. I totally agree with you. She is sick as fuck. I'll be glad when she's cuffed. Me too. I'm really interested in knowing how it's going to happen. Is she like, can she get done for just saying, go up to the bedroom and go in the bed? Like, did she know that he had a prior before, and that he was a sicko? And how much did she know about the photos and the videos and all the rest of it to let him up there? So I think that that'll be the instigator. And then also there's something really fishy about her car. So I reckon he went back to the house with Madeline, and then they swapped cars and they put her in Jen SoDo's car, or I think he probably scouted out the place and found the place and then went back home again and then waited until late at night on the 27th, thought, I'm going to be all tricky here, and jumped in Jennifer SoDo's car, which the cadaver dogs have barked for blood and whatnot, for Madeline. And I think that she was in the house and stuff for a very long time, and then they took her there. Like, he went back and said, "Yep, I found a spot," and Jennifer Soda's like, "Okay, let's jump in the car and go," and that's what they did. And I'm sure that's probably going to pop up on CCTV, like so much else has. Jen said that Maddie had a crush on a boy at school. This could have enraged that maniac. Lots of jealousy. That Pluto's right there. There is so much jealousy. It definitely would have enraged him. And then God knows what it did to her, because she's an absolute mental case that's jealous of some asshole that's not even the father. Not that that makes any difference anyway, but he's just some boyfriend. And she's all jealous, like, oh my God, he's going to go out with my daughter and I'm going to be left alone. What a fuckwit. Okay. Juniper, I should get my glasses so I can see. Can you, I'll be back in 2 seconds. Okay, I'm just going to grab my glasses because I can't see shit. I can see slightly. Hooray. Sorry about the glare now. God, I'm such a professional YouTuber. Now I'm going to have to go. These are just my readers. Let me get close here. So yeah, if that's the case, and she did have a crush on a boy, that'll be a major instigator. But also, have you guys seen the paperwork of how much he did to Madeline, like daily? Oh, that poor girl. So angry. Juniper. Do I think Algol is to blame for Madeline and Sebastian? They went missing so close together, and Algol hanging out in the 8th and 7th and 6th house. That might make me think he is to blame. Well, Algol is slightly complex. We think of Algol as, losing one's head, literal decapitation, something to do with the head. But it's actually in Taurus, so it's more the neck. So really, it'd be, if you were decapitated from Algol, it would be down here. I don't know if it's completely to do with it, but obviously it makes a difference. I don't know if it's to blame. I feel like the moon at 29 degrees is to blame, especially in Madeline's case, because that, to me, even though it's a co-ruler of the victim, it's screaming out Jennifer SoDo. So, but yeah, hanging out in that 6th, 7th, and 8th house is not great. But Algol Algol is interpreted to mean alcohol, or the alcoholic as well. So if you're looking at Algol and you're looking at somebody and what the dynamics of what's going on, also keep into consideration that it means alcoholic. I know Neptune represents that as well, but Algol is the true alcoholic. So You know, I don't believe that they've had their heads decapitated. Well, God forbid. You never know. But I think you need to look at who's the drinkers in the situation when Algol's around, especially conjunct the seventh house, and if it's making an aspect to the ruler of the seventh house cusp, the perpetrator. I hope that makes some sense. I know, that's what I was like. How much fucking sleep do they need? She was doing things like that. Ken and Barbie couple from Canada got jealous and got rid of her, sadly. Yeah, I know. The sleep stuff and the drug stuff is just ridiculous. Like, I need to be tranquilized. I couldn't think straight. He needed to be tranquilized. Madeline needed to be tranquilized. The mother had to get some sleep because she had a new job. If she was that tranquil and tranquilized, then she's not going to her fucking job at Walt Disney or whatever it is. She's full of shit. They're just drug addicted losers. And and that's why in the chart it popped up that they were drugging her. You know, they were drugged. Like, she was probably prescribed these drugs because her mother's gone and said, you know, she's so hard to handle and blah, 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 blah. But drugs predominantly rules that family's life. And I think they drugged her a whole lot. I'm hoping that she was drugged so much that she didn't know what was happening. But yeah, how much sleep does a person need? Holy shit. And it's just so typical, such a bullshit excuse. The cops must just be like, sure, yeah, sure you need all that sleep. You know, oh, I need to sleep in my own bed. Please go upstairs in bed with each other. Fuck me. I believe it's very possible the stepdad set the stage for an abduction. Mum probably put him in the garage as Sebastian as punishment, and stepdad waited till she fell asleep. I can't comment on it because I'm not 100% sure, but if it does ring true to be the same chart and the same rulers and everything else, then it's possible. And I'm really, really interested to have a look. Was Neptune and the moon in opposition to for Maddie? Yes, it was. Juniper, yep. Like it was for Sebastian, because that means you said someone is not mentally stable or emotional, maybe unstable. When I looked at the charts, yeah, completely unstable. The moon, at the point where I feel like she actually passed away, which is about 3:35 in the morning on the 27th, not the night time, but like after her party. The moon was at 27 degrees in the conjunct the MC, directly opposing, or in the ninth house conjunct the MC, directly opposing Neptune at 26 degrees in the third house. So that absolutely indicates full mental issues. I hope that answers Juniper. I did see the paperwork on the step monster. A whole lot of pics of Maddie. Disgusting. Oh. To me, it looked like he did something every day, and if he couldn't do something every day, he waited a few days because she was probably so damaged that he couldn't do anything to her every day. You look at some of those dates and it's the same day, same day, same day, 3 times or more in a day. And then there's some days that there's, you know, a few days between. It's like, what's he just letting her have a little break before he does it again? It's so disgusting. Is it like this in Australia? It's so violent in the US. No, it isn't. I mean, yeah, we've got our problems here. People tend to like to use knives at the moment for some reason. We have random stabbings, but not many. We don't have serial killers. Well, we have had a few from back in the day. We don't have guns. And I know, you know, I won't get into the whole discussion about guns because I know you guys have the right to have bear arms. And I get it because if everybody else had a gun, I'd want a fucking gun as well. So I completely understand that. But because they did that whole thing when Port Arthur happened here, when that guy in Tasmania ran around and shot everybody, and they did that buyback scheme with the guns, and all the guns just like vanished. There's no shootings, there's nothing. Maybe the odd bike here or something like that. But no, no, we don't have violence like that. You can walk around and feel safe. You rarely, rarely hear of, well, of course, there's domestic violence. It's, SA, assault. Um, but then you have cases like Cleo. Remember Cleo Smith, the little girl that went missing from up north from where I am in WA, in Carnarvon, and she was found safely, even though she was kidnapped. She was found safely. So we have more people found safely, and nowhere near as much as America. I see so many really lovely Americans, so it's really hard for me to understand how that happens. But I think by and large, America is pretty angry. Hello, good year 2024. I did make it. I made it through. You agree as well, Juniper? Yep, good. So many people shouldn't have children. For Maddie SoDo's case, cell phone data reports show stepdad arriving at their house at 8:41 on Sunday night. Mum Jen arriving home at 10:18. More times. Oh my God. Sorry. There's so many times in this case. It's crazy. But it's an interesting one to do. Like, I know the one I did it yesterday, and it was like flick, 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 this, that. If we did it in order of every single time, it will show the definitive picture of exactly what happened. And I'm really keen to put it on the map as well and see if it shows exactly when they went to where they did. I thought this would keep my coffee hot. My coffee's cold. Yeah, Cleo Smith, that was pretty amazing actually. I mapped her from where she was taken, and then the road literally down to where she was found. That was a really interesting case. Yeah, I can imagine you wouldn't be able to go out alone as a woman over there. And that's awful, so sad. All you guys that I just get on so well with, I wish you would all just pack up your stuff and come to Australia. You can get good wages and free healthcare and walk down the street safely and not think that you're going to get shot in the face, or that the police are going to kill you, or if you're dark skinned, you're going to get attacked, or all this other shit. It just doesn't happen here. We're very cultural here, which I'm so thankful for. I'm sorry, Em, that you can't walk around as a woman. Like that's just really, really, really bad, and I hate hearing that. So Jennifer SoDo didn't even have any new pics on her phone since 2020, and that laptop was used in 2020. Coincidence? I think not. Had to get a pic for cops from her sister. Yeah, I heard that. I did hear that. Like, huh? You don't take any pictures of your daughter? That's because your sicko boyfriend takes them all. Yeah, there is a serious mental health crisis in the US. I actually think that that's not just limited to the US. I think, here there's a lot of people that are in a bad way as well, although not mental health crises to the point of going out and shooting people, killing their children, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, as a human race, we need to understand the human condition a little bit more and figure out what's going on with our mental health and help each other. Passion Flowers says, I don't understand handing your children to a pedo. Yeah. These mothers are devoid of any maternal love for their children. Are there certain aspects that signify this? I think the charts that I did last night actually showed a lot of that. Well, there's definitely natally there's definitely things that indicate that. If you have Pluto in aspect with the moon in certain areas, that can be, that the mum's got no motherly instinct. The fact that the moon in this instance in that event chart was at 29 degrees, that to me always shows that a mother in a crime chart, that a mother doesn't know how to be a mother and thinks more about boyfriends and other things than their children. Sorry. There's a few more aspects that can signify that as well, but you're always looking to the moon and always look to any aspects from planets to the fourth house cusp as well. You're going to see the dynamics with the mother and child with that. If there's, say, the ascendant ruler or a planet conjunct the ascendant is in aspect with the moon or the fourth house, you're going to look there for the mum dynamics with the children as well. So there's quite a few of those indicators, and that's just initiated my thinking into putting that into the book actually as well, to show exactly what you're looking for with aspects like that. So thank you. It is a dream here, like we are really, really lucky here. Like, don't get me wrong, everything's super expensive and, people are suffering. But, yeah, but not killing each other. Hi, me, myself. Do I sell private astrology readings? I do. I can. Because I am a professional astrologer. I went to the FAA in Australia for many years to learn how to do natal astrology and horary and dynamic astrology and maths and all of that sort of stuff. So I learnt doing birth charts. My problem with doing birth charts is I can't stop. So if I was to do a video, it would go for like 2 hours. I used to write it by hand. It first started off being in a little exercise book, and then the very last natal chart that I read was in a 500-page book, and I completely filled it up, and I still didn't finish it, and I got paid like $70 for it, and didn't really see the value in it. But also the person that I gave the chart to didn't actually really read it all, and there was a lot of things in there that they should have read because things would have changed in their life if they had have. But for some reason, a lot of people tend to not want to read their natal charts. But yes, I can do it, but I'm better at answering questions about anything to do with your life. Packing your bags. You should pack your bags. If you don't like, if you WA where I live, it's nice. It's a bit suburban. Queensland, where I used to live in the rainforest up in far north Queensland. Beautiful, beautiful. You can come in as, get a visa, work in a coffee shop and earn like $30 an hour, and then spend most of your time lounging around in the rainforest. It's fantastic. Juniper, I live in this ghetto. It's a very violent city. We cannot walk around. We have to drive out for miles just to ride our bikes with my daughter. Oh, no. That's not life, is it? That's like, they've got to do something over there about that shit. I honestly, my head always just goes to getting rid of the guns. But then I remember watching Preppers or something once, and this guy was like, "You'll take my gun out of my dead hand," and I thought, "Oh my God, you're never going to get the guns." But then, as I said, I understand it, because if someone's breaking into your house and they've got a gun, what are you going to do? You hit them over the head with a bat? That's what we do here. Punch in the face or a bat by the bed. That's all you need, because they're not coming in with a gun. I'm so sorry that you have to do that. That sucks. Budgie, disturbing, giving life to a little person and owning it. Yeah. You lectured yesterday, and a number of parents were asking questions such as, what do I need to do with a child at home? What a strange question. Your motherly instinct surely just kicks in and you just look after the baby. What do I need to do? Well, feeding it's a good start. Making sure it's safe and warm is another one. I don't know. I don't get it. But I have Jupiter in Pisces in my 5th house. I have 3 children. I lost a child. I'm a mother through and through, so I'll never understand it. Have I done any charts for Sebastian? Yes, I've done one, and it's in my videos. I don't know where I was in my headspace at the time, because I've been a bit up and down. But the thing that I didn't know was that Sebastian and Madeline SoDo's charts were the same. So I'm really keen to look at that again. Yeah, 4 years of no photos. What's the bet that they'll go into an older phone, or they'll go into her phone that she clasps onto from the minute she's interviewed? There'll be photos. You're a crazy person if you don't have photos on your phone, right? Like, unless you've just got absolutely nothing to photo because your life is so fucking shit. But I don't believe that. I think she has got photos and they just haven't found them yet. Maybe she's got a SIM card in a different phone or something like that. They'll find them. There'll be photos. Little Miss Sharon, the doctors suck here in Australia. They do. I agree with that big time. You're trying to get help for your autistic daughter and it's like pulling teeth. Oh my goodness. I can talk about that for ages. I've been looking for help, for mental help and help with my anxiety. I know it's not the same. I'm sorry. I'm just not comparing or anything, but I completely understand. I have only just found a doctor that barely cares. And yeah, it is bad actually. Our doctors, our GPs and stuff are getting really crap. I really hope that you do get help, little Miss Sharon. I'm sure you will. Just keep trying. I emailed Delilah says, I emailed a subscribed prompt, just a heads up in case it goes to your spam. Oh, thank you so much. I'll have a look for that. My book is still on Amazon. Me taking notes. Thinking Juniper's taking notes. That's all right. I love sharing my wisdom. Excuse me. Jay Lizard. Oh, hello. Thank you so much for the $2. That's so lovely of you. Really appreciate that. And Jay Lizard says, have you ever considered a thesis on how each of the planets influences a murderer, and some on the more contrite topic of houses related to M? Thank you. I permanently consider writing theses on everything. It's just a matter of actually doing it. In the book that will be coming out probably around December, there's going to be a whole lot more about the planets and the influence on the murderer. So if there's a ruler of the DC, the perpetrator, I go really quite heavily into that planet in terms of what the person might look like, what they've done, what's happened, and then weapons and etc. So you might, not a thesis, but you might find some interesting info in that when it comes out. Toy Thomas, it's scary here. I was in Walmart one day and this man walks past me with his pew pew, pew pew, America, strapped on his leg, and I just left my full buggy and exited the building. We have open and carry and conceal. You see, that would scare the living daylights out of me. I couldn't handle that. If I saw a gun, I'd run away as well. Jupiter in Pisces as well. Yours is in the 8th house. Very caring and loving, but I have issues because my Jupiter in retrograde. Oh, I know about that. But it still gives you some blessings. It does. Jupiter, it can be a bit of a bastard, but it's pretty good in general. He found the laptop and it was missing any new info on it. Wasn't used since 2020 and the drive was missing along with the weird empty storage unit, but all new computer systems inside. That is weird. Man, they're going to find so much more. Yes, my new book might be the best Christmas present. It'll be good for me as a Christmas present. Finally, to get it done. Hello from Las Vegas. I've been to Las Vegas. It was big. I'm happy you're back. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Tani. I have done some charts for Tani. Thank you for recommending me. We've done a few different charts, mainly, I think, questions more so, but yeah, I do enjoy doing those. So if you do want a reading, just email me and I'll try really, really, really hard to fit it in. Not that I'm like completely inundated with things to do, but it's just getting my headspace ready. So, I'm a Jupiter 5th house Leo. I have kids in every aspect of my life, my whole life, like a terrible infestation. You could have got another job. No, that wouldn't have worked out, would it? You're destined to be with the little children. It's because you've got such a beautiful energy. The kids would love it. You know, I think we have to go into what we're really meant to do. And I know we always look for different jobs and stuff like that, Tani. But yeah, obviously that Jupiter is showing you that, yeah, you're to be surrounded by children, your beautiful grandchildren, your students. No new job for you. Who said termite? Oh, like a termite infestation. Yeah, yeah. Who said termite? I just said that like 5 seconds ago. A baby termite infestation. I can laugh because I know Tani very well, and she's so funny. She doesn't mean it's a termite investigation, a termite infestation. Cold coffee. Mm, it's actually not too bad, but where's the lid? That's why I'm not putting the lid on it. What a fool. I'm ready to start a Kirsty McIntosh book club on my channel, including I Love Your Book, Caroline Lully's book too, and I love Val Evans too. You ladies are amazing. Thank you. Val Evans is good, but, well, I don't know how accurate she is, really, but her methods, I don't know. Anyway, I won't say too much there. But thank you, Juniper, and thank you so much for just doing the charts and the mapping all the time. I love seeing people do mapping. It's great. It's great. One thing I can suggest with everyone that likes doing mapping is just to keep it to a minimum. I think I said this before. You know, you don't want the whole chart, all the lines there, and then every radius out, because, I mean, you do eventually, you will, but it's much easier to start with just your ascendant, your IC, Saturn, which represents the physical body, the ruler of the ascendant, the ruler of the descendant, if you're looking for where the perpetrator lives or works. So, yeah, keeping it simple. And with miles outwards and stuff like that, look for double degrees. So if you have an ascendant at 27 degrees and then its ruler is at 27, or Saturn's at 27, or the moon's at 27, stick with that 27, because this repetitiveness is really important. I'd like a Kirsty McIntosh book club. That sounds nice. I hope I've answered everybody. I couldn't see before. Delilah, I just want to thank you so much for helping me and trying to make my channel better, and doing all the things that I should be doing. Jupiter gets everyone pregnant. In my opinion, Jupiter in the 5th house is children everywhere. Yeah, it really is. It really is. I have children over the other side, children here. My children's friends who I've taken in over the years and looked after. It's just a multitude of children and motherhood. But that's actually me really trying to sort out my Pluto moon issues with me and my own mother. I've got to break that cycle. No, thank you, and you're welcome. I'm really happy to be doing this. I'm so glad that I want to do it again. I really got into a headspace where I just thought I couldn't do it. So, am I able to see the good lines too, like where someone would get married and career? I don't really do it, but I can't see why not. I mean, a timed chart is a timed chart, and it's imprinted on the earth. It's going to show good and bad. I haven't done it, but I certainly wouldn't say not to. So that's for Kristen. That's an interesting question, and yeah, that would be a whole nother study of mapping and astrology. That would be great. Mutilated Hands. I love that name. From Turkey. Hello. Thank you for your videos. Thank you for watching. I took your interest in astrology to another level. I'm an autopsy technician. Ooh, that was something that I wanted to do a long time ago. So when I learned there's something as forensic astrology, it clicked. I'm so glad. So glad. I love hearing that. Thank you. Juniper her daughter has Jupiter in the 5th with a water sign ruling it. I told her about safe sex early in life. Yeah, good. I'm glad you did. Jay Lizard, would I consider revisiting the Kurt Cobain death? Oh, Kurt Cobain. Gosh. If I haven't looked at his chart at least 1,000 times, I'd be surprised. But new info has come out in the last week and the story's getting very popular. Really? What new info? I have no idea what new info. I'm very curious. I'm going to just go forward. So, Jay Lizard, if you can tell me what new info, that'd be good. Tani, Jupiter, 4 kids, 4 stepkids, 7 grandkids, preschool kids, nieces, nephews, friends, kids. Can't escape the babies. And you never will. Yeah, you've got to break cycles. That's cool, Molly. That was something that I knew having this last transit of Pluto going through my IC. I lost my beautiful partner, had to build a house, and then the last thing was an aspect to the moon. And me and my mum have been it's been a rocky road, and I thought, I'm going to be proactive in this. And we actually went on a bit of a holiday and connected, and that was good. I think we did break some barriers. Unfortunately, she has the majority of her planets in the 8th house, though, and yeah, she's a hard lady. My nickname for Jupiter is Big Sperm. Yeah. Giant sperm. Thank you. I think what I do is fascinating too, because I can really understand how it happens. It's the only job you're good at, Tani. Oh, I don't know about that. I think you're a brilliant artist, a comedian. You're everything. I read something and then it went away. Oh, Bridget, hello. I'm glad that you were able to make it to the live as well. Passion Flower has Jupiter and Pisces in the 4th and has taken care of elderly relatives most of your life. What a difference a few degrees makes. That is interesting because the 4th house is the womb and the tomb. So birth and death. I'm holding a space for you to heal too. Thank you, Kristen. I was feeling awful and finally got help. Turns out I was low in B12 and in range but low BD3. I feel better now. Anxiety gone. Seeing through the night now too. Oh, I'm really glad. I'm so glad about that. I've been on so many different medications and stuff. Not heaps, but different types and natural things and whatnot. And I can't get a handle on it. Every now and then my world just like stops. I feel like I'm floating, buzzing, and then it's like, what the fuck happened? I still don't know what happened. It's shock, I think, still. But thank you. Thank you, Delilah. It was murder, not suicide. Which one? What one was that? Oh, Kurt Cobain. Yeah, but why? Why do you think that? Just out of curiosity. Thank you, my bear. He is in peace now. I know that now. Be nice if he would come and visit me in a dream, though, once in a while. Bloody bugger. Typical Taurus. Lazy. Yes, everyone hit the subscribe and like button. Subscribe! Although there's only 39 people in here, so it probably won't matter. But thank you, Delilah. I love people that want to help. It's so sweet. We don't help each other enough, and more people do need to help. Toy Thomas, my Jupiter is retrograde in my 7th in Pisces. Lilith snugged up with him. Bastard's got me. Many lovers, perhaps. I love Kurt Cobain. I love Kurt Cobain too. Kurt Cobain is literally who got me into astrology. I started to learn about different, aromatherapy and spiritual things and stuff. But I loved Nirvana. I'm a grunge 90s lover, and Nirvana was just the absolute fucking bee's knees. And when he killed himself, I was like, I was completely floored. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I need to know why. I need to know why. And then started putting together the pieces of, the Pisces in his. He always talked about being Pisces, and then what Nirvana really is, and then learning about Courtney Love and all the rest of it. But whatever with her. But yeah, he changed my life in a massive, massive direction. Yeah, so much water in his chart, and that Virgo. That's hard, Virgo, with all that water. Yeah, it was on his ascendant. There's a big trine and a kite going to his 7th house, which is a little indicative of Courtney there, or his relationships. No, I haven't seen a chart like that either, that trines everything so well. I have seen like my mother's, who has everything in water except for the moon, but in one area. But yeah, not all over the chart like that. Do I listen to rife tones? No, I don't know what they are. Yeah, Thomas PTSD, I think it is. It is, because it just stops you in your tracks and you're like, oh my God, what happened like 2 seconds ago? But it wasn't. It was a while ago, It's a horrible, horrible feeling. So a big interview with LA detective Chris Todd. He gives names and accomplices. What, like Courtney Love, Erickson, or oh my God, I forgot his name. Anyone from the band? His mate that bought him the gun, Mark Langan. Do you know who they're naming? I'm super curious. Hello, Boo Sheet. Some people have such cool names. Boo Sheet. While I can't type, I can send a wave of abundance your way. One day I'll be in a place to actually tip you. Oh, tip, sorry, not type. You don't have to do that. Thank you just for being here. Thank you so much. And I hope that every abundance comes to you. You certainly don't need to give it to me. Oops. Oh, Juniper, you haven't got far to go. It won't be long and it'll be like second nature. It'll be like just stepping into the chart, and all the symbols and glyphs and everything will be in your face and you'll know it clearly. I can guarantee that. 2 guys drugged him and carried him into the greenhouse. It took 5 days to find him. Yeah, I do know that. Wonder which guys drugged him. I mean, he was heavily into heroin himself, but he was trying to get clean. I'm thinking my mind's just all over the place with the guy from the Screaming Trees and Mark Langan and the guy that bought him the gun. I wonder if it's them. I remember everyone crying at our lockers. We were devastated when he passed. I know, it was so devastating, wasn't it? Mutilated hands. I tried mapping for the first time for an ongoing missing case. I took the IC line and the degree as kilometres, the body found in the exact area. Can I ask your opinion for a placement? So you used kilometres. That's interesting. I can't use kilometres. It doesn't work for me. But I'm very curious. But yeah, you can ask me anything that you like. Little Miss Sharon, my ex-husband died a year ago, and when he visited me in my dream, I tell him to piss off. So I don't mean to laugh. It's just a little bit funny. Bridget is Virgo and Pisces dominant. Understand that energy all too well. Yeah, it's such a dichotomy of energies, isn't it? With all that water and then that, everything's got to be perfect. How can it be perfect when you're so watery? Dylan was one. Thought so. I bloody knew that those two. I'm sure it's Mark Langan. Maybe it's not him. But isn't Dylan the one that bought him the gun? Oh, it's a long time ago for me now. God, that's 30 years ago or something, isn't it? Or roughly, yeah, 30 years ago. Well, I've definitely got to do some reading on that. I always have my suspicions that there was something real dodgy about him. Oh, thank you. You're a sweetheart. Good year. So 8 people were in the house when Kurt got home. He wanted them to go. They were high as a kite. Really curious as to who was in the house. I think I probably have a vague idea of who was in the house. I hope it wasn't Michael Stipe. No, it wouldn't have been him, I don't think. If everyone stopped messing with drugs and indulging in alcohol, there'd be a massive reduction in depression and violence, especially against one's own close circle. That's so true. So many people drink and take drugs and do stupid shit. Thank you, Kristen. YouTube, The Connect. Okay, I'll have a look at that. The spooky machine, based on Royal Rife's technology, might really help with your anxiety. Oh, okay. It has programs for everything. It's a frequency technology that's non-invasive. I think a friend of mine actually tried to get me onto that, and then sadly she passed away. Absolutely. Please email me a Rife tone. I'm very curious. A gentle one for PTSD probably would be good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yep, Dylan bought him the gun. Dylan gave him the drugs. Dylan put him out of his misery. Well, I'm interested, definitely interested to find out more about that. And the receipt for the gun and the bullets were at his side. Yeah, I remember that. His daughter Frances had a baby a few days. Did she really? Oh, can you imagine what that baby looks like with bright blue eyes and Frances just spitting image of Kurt, but also her mother, which is a bit of a shame. Although Courtney Love's not the worst thing to look at, but Frances, it's like looking at Kurt. Kristen says, I'm no sensitive, I can't take Western meds, and I'm a Reiki master. Frequency is how I heal PTSD along with those vitamins. Yeah, see, I think that was my problem as well, is that I'm very sensitive to things like that too, and going on all different types of drugs or, for anxiety or depression and all the rest of it, it wasn't working out. It was making me feel worse. And I'm usually the type of person that doesn't do that sort of thing. Like I'll smoke a bit of weed, I make some oil, THC. I believe in that a lot. But yeah, Western medicine doesn't really agree with me. But then it's really hard when you haven't got people to talk to, doctors, and the psychologists cost, $200 a session, and then they just want to discuss everything over and over again, which I don't really want to do. Kristen, my girlfriend got rid of a very severe case of Johns with it. Hi, Lisa. Glad to see you too. That is amazing. I would like to look into that. I did, binaural beats and YouTube things and tried to meditate and stuff, but it didn't take the pictures out of my head. So hard, I was with Bear since we were 16, and we were together like that all the time, 24/7. And then when suddenly someone's gone, it's like, oh, fuck, where? And then when you know things like astrology and stuff like that, it's like, you're just taking the piss out of me. And then when you look at charts, or I look at my chart, I looked at my chart around that time that all happened. I was like, why me? I'll feel sorry for myself. Why me? Why my kids? But something that I want to tell you about, I won't talk about Bear all the time, and I'll look at your messages in a minute, but something that was really interesting to me, that Bear, my husband Bear, he liked astrology. He knew what I did, but never really got into it. He didn't know the planets. He didn't know the glyphs. He didn't know anything like that. And 2 years before he got pancreatic cancer, he said to me, let's go and get some tattoos. So I went in and got like a version of Jupiter with Sagittarius on it, with my moon, etc. And I've got some, that was a stellium that occurred when my father passed away. But anyway, so we got some tattoos, and I thought Bear was going to get something tribal or whatever, a flag, and he had a specific style of what he was going to get. And on his hand, he got the Jupiter symbol, really huge, and then the Neptune symbol, super huge as well. It wasn't relevant to his chart whatsoever. Neptune and Jupiter meant nothing. But he had this whopping great tattoo of both of the glyphs on his hand, and I'm like, why? What made you decide to do that? He said, I don't know. I remember showing a friend of mine, and she's like, what? It made absolutely no sense that he would get that, because it's not him. And then I did look at the chart for the moment that Bear passed away, and I couldn't believe it, because I hadn't been looking at astrology for all that time. I was focusing on trying to keep him alive, And when he passed away, Jupiter and Neptune were exactly conjunct in his 8th house of death. His ascendant was my sun. He had a Sagittarius moon as well as me, and the moon was at my degree of Sagittarius. It was just uncanny. So I wanted to share. I've been wanting to share that for ages because I can't quite believe that 2 years before he decided to get this whopping great conjunction of Jupiter and Neptune on his hand, and then when he passed away, it was in the 8th house of death. So I think just another sign that things are fated. Anyway, let me go up a little bit. Neptune retrograde in the 12th house for Melanie. Hate taking meds because I'm so sensitive. Yeah, it's not good if you've got Neptune in that 12th house. Mutilated hands. The perpetrator is Mercury, 7th house Gemini, conjunct to the sun in the 8th house and having a square from Uranus in the 5th. I thought it could be a homo affair between the perpetrator and the victim has witnessed. Possibly. To see homosexuality or gayness in a chart, look to Uranus and the moon. Just a handy hint. Dylan and Callie. A couple of girls were there too. Courtney was not at the house at the time. Callie, the baby sitter. Bloody hell, eh? Thank you, Kristen. Yeah, I accept. I will do that specific rife. Gentle. It does definitely need to be gentle. And Lisa, I will definitely be coming on more for sure. I've got heaps of cases that I've got to get onto. Thank you, Bridget. Yeah, it was a terrible loss. Absolutely terrible, terrible loss. Yeah, and losing Bear it was like losing part of me. And I'm still trying to fathom who I am. And that's really hard when you hit midlife and you think that you're going to be with somebody forever. And then suddenly you're just, bam, left by yourself and you're left to figure out what the rest of your life's supposed to entail. But now, after watching all that stuff on Tyler Henry and stuff that I was talking about before, I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. If not teaching, continually looking, writing more books, and putting all of the knowledge that I have out there. I'm not afraid to say that I want to be somebody that's, got a book or two when I'm gone that people might want to pick up. Okay. Yeah, I know I talk about it all the time. I'm sorry. It's just something I can't help. I just miss Bear every single day. Thank you for listening, Erica. No, it wasn't a coincidence. He knew. Bear knew. He knew. I don't know how he knew so specifically, for those two planets. They weren't in conjunction 2 years before, so that's weird to me, but definitely no coincidence. I want to see Francis Bean's baby. I did use DNA yesterday. No, I don't use any other asteroids. I used to use names, just particular names, but only if the names were extremely accurate. If you've got Christine and then the name's Krista, no, I wouldn't use that. But no, I can't. I find it really hard to read charts that have got a million things on it. If it's got all the Vesta and the Lilith and the moon, the red moon and the blue moon and every other moon, no, all the points or trans-Neptunians or asteroids, I can't see the forest through the trees, so I need to keep it simple. But yeah, I do use DNA because that one's really comes up quite strong and get away. And as you saw in the charts yesterday, and it was sitting right there next to the moon that whole time. It could have been anywhere, but no, it was sitting right there. So that's even more indication that she knew what was going on. I'm going to be naughty, have one more cigarette. I've been on here for 2 hours, a lot longer than I thought I would be on for. But I love talking to everybody. When anything happens to me or the people I love, I look at charts. I need to understand. Yeah, me too. I don't look at my kids' charts, but I have to look at specific charts of, people passing away or major things going on in my life. It's just a complete pull. So I get that, Tani, big time. And Kristen, you're right. He would want me to live my best life. I didn't realise that for a long time. I thought, he'd probably be like, no, you mourn. Mourn, woman, mourn. But no, of course, he does want me to live my best life. And the best thing that I can do is live my best life to show how much I loved him, and I understand that now. Eudora, hello. I've got Venus in Virgo in the 12th. Am I doomed in love? No. Plus squares to Saturn. The only good aspect is the trines to Virgo. In my older age, I feel I've given up on finding that happy, secure relationship. Well, to me, you're not doomed in love at all. It's just a matter of that this person is hidden away somewhere that you just haven't found yet. The 12th house is, in places that we've never been before. So maybe one day you'll go to a place that you've never been and then they'll pop up. So no, not doomed in love. I don't believe that, actually. And I think as well, I've always thought this, if you have squares between your planets with the people that you like and love, it's much better than having trines. Trines are too easy, like the Kite chart. Those trines to the water and then the kite, I think the kite went to the ascendant or whatever. But the trine was too easy. It was too easy for him to play music. It was too easy for him to become famous. Too easy for him to take drugs. Everything came to him like that. So the trine wasn't good. I see a lot of relationships where people have their sons squaring each other. My son squared my husband's son. And so I'm a Leo, he's a Taurus. And I get on really, really well with Scorpions and Aquariuses as well. So anyone that's squared my son, I get on really well with. So I don't subscribe to the fact that trines are necessarily the best aspects in our charts. Thank you, Bridget. It is what I'm supposed to do. I know it's been something that's been deep within me since I was like 15, and I learnt astrology through trying to disprove astrology because I couldn't believe that it was true, and I couldn't disprove it. And I think that's the best way to figure out things actually is when you try and disprove them, but you can't. Thank you, Melanie. Yeah, I think I can't help but say sorry. There's been some issues, as always, when you lose someone, with family, with people telling me that it's time to stop crying and time to not do this and, pull it together. Or the best one I had was pull your big girl pants up. So unfortunately, for me, it's like I always feel like I've got to say sorry for talking about Troy about Bear. So thank you, because the only way that we can really truly connect with our loved ones is by keeping them alive every single day. So thank you. I definitely will keep writing. Good year for sure. Thank you, Erica. I would love to talk about things, and let's talk about your stuff and do your chart too. That's one that I'm going to do. So I know a few people have asked, but Erica is going to be first with that one. You can hear him. He's cheeky. If you can hear him, he's the cheekiest bastard you've ever met. He was typical Taurus. He was full of shit in a loving way. He was the biggest bullshit artist ever. He would tell lies to me and I would believe him for years. Years. He's really cheeky. If he can come through, I wish he would come through. If he could come through, he would give me so much shit. He would laugh at me for talking on YouTube. I know that much. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I have no doubt that you can probably hear him. I feel as though that he's that cheeky and that rude and naughty that he will go to everybody else but me just to give me the shits. Okay. Jen, all right, names. We've got, okay, let me take a photo. Jay Lizard, I'm onto it. Jen Adamson, Dylan, Renee, Kelly, Daniel, Jessica Hopper. I haven't heard of a lot of those names. I mean, a lot of things come around, around every so often, like it's 30 years this year or whatever, and you hear different things, but I have not heard anything like that. You always hear the same thing. Courtney did it, blah, blah, blah. Dead men don't pull triggers, etc. Although that was like the best thing that I ever read, because when I read that, if you've read it, Jay Lizard, Dead men don't pull triggers, there's just no way that he could have shot himself after shooting up that much heroin. So that was my thing. Bear gave me a parting gift that would only make sense to you and now us. Beautiful sorrow and poignant. Yep, that's so true. So true. Nurses can tell when the end is near, hospice nurses especially, and then they call the family. I was very, very lucky. Bear was in hospital a lot of the time. He had multiple surgeries and multiple heart attacks and strokes and horrible things like that. But he really wanted to pass away at home, so we had a hospice situation at home. But I actually, myself and my daughter and my other children, but mainly my youngest daughter, who has a Pluto on her ascendant, she's got such an understanding of death. We looked after Bear, and when the hospice nurse came, we knew that it was coming close to the end, but she really knew, and I couldn't have done it actually without her. She was lovely, and what a sad and awful job. But yeah, that would be a very hard job. Definitely don't ever be sorry. I talk about my first husband so much that I know it can drive people nuts, but I don't care. It was just too suspicious. I know that's where my PTSD came from. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that it was suspicious. Love you, Juniper. Thank you so much. I'm trying really hard to be gentle with myself. Trines can make us really lazy. They really can. They're the laziest of aspects in my opinion. Grief has its own trajectory. What they're telling you is nonsense. I know, right? And this is my family, my mother, his father, my brother, my uncles and aunties, my own family telling me that I've got to pull up my big girl pants. Like, whatever. No, pull it together doesn't do much at all. It just makes me angry, especially me being a Leo. I can go from being the quietest Leo that's scared to being the loudest, obnoxious, most pissed off person ever. And when I was told to pull my big girl pants up or pull it together, I lost my shit. I really did. Big hugs to you, Toy Thomas. And you're welcome, Erica. I really do want to help you. I'm very pulled to want to help. And don't worry about money either. Oh my gosh, yes. Kristen, his face did go red. Oh wow. Okay, so he try and it's hard to see because of the light, but okay, so he has nice complexion, but when he got sick, he got all these veins and stuff in his face and he went red. And then the chemotherapy actually really affected his skin and he went red. But then when it went to his kidneys, his face sort of puffed up and went really red. He was like Father Christmas, like Santa Claus at times. That's amazing. That really is amazing. It did get red. Can I ask you a question, Kristen? Was he glad that he passed away at home with me right next to him? And did he hear me? I wouldn't usually ask that, but I have to. That's really crazy that you said about his red face because it became a point of contention. The Kurt Cobain episode that names two killers, Dylan and Danny, is on Matthew Cox's channel. Eyewitness reveals the real story behind Kurt Cobain's death. Wow, I can't wait to have a look at that. Kristen, you do this for a living. I'm so glad that you came on. I've been needing to hear something. Just something. Erica, are you shitting me? He wants me to walk the beach with seashells? Oh my god, okay. We did Bears Memorial at the beach there was all these shells around, so we had to move over to the point where so we could set up everything. And I haven't been back to that beach and I was just saying to my daughter that we need to go down there because Daddy wants us to go and see it. That is crazy. He does want me to go to the beach. Thank you, Midnight Baker. Are you a baker? Jay Lizard. I was friends with Jim Morrison's brother-in-law. Many said he killed Kurt. Before he died, Albert told me he could hardly talk, harshly said, out of the blue. My gosh, that would have hit you like a ton of bricks. Bridget, you have Pluto on your AC as well, so you're lovely, transformative, and bring beautiful messages to the people. And hospice nurses truly are angels, absolutely. I am COVID free. What? I am COVID free. I was confused by this till last week. He might have meant Cobain free, free of that crime. I need to read more about that. Something with seashells. There's something else as well with the seashells. It's not even just about the beach that we had his memorial on, Erica. Literally, we collected some shells from the beach and put them in little jars for the children with some soil from where we used to live in Queensland and some sand from a special place that we love down south and shells as well. And then they put that into the water. And then I got some seashells, and at the front of my house I have like that thing, a triangular sort of thing, and it has pictures of bear on it, and then down the bottom it's got a giant seashell full of shells and full of feathers. And the feathers is amazing. Bear used to work at Bird World, an exotic bird park, and he loved birds, and birds was his thing. My daughter and I can walk around the house or anywhere, and there's a feather on the floor in front of you, and not just like a shitty little white, black magpie or whatever, a beautiful green or red or blue feather. I've collected all these feathers, and there's, I don't know, 30 of them now, inside the seashell with the shells. That's crazy. Morning, Arbat. Hi, Jules. Hello. Yeah, I hate hearing "suck it up, buttercup" as well. I had, like, one person said to me, actually 2 people said to me, "Oh, I know exactly how it feels. I got divorced." The fuck? No, you don't. You don't know shit. Can you see him? Oh. Oh, my handsome bear. Thank you so much for coming through and talking to me about bear. I appreciate that so much. Lisa, I lost my dad 30 years ago, and sometimes something will hit me out of the blue, and I'm in a puddle of tears all these years later. Grief has to pass through us. It's normal when we love someone. That's so true. I lost my dad in 2018. We looked after him for 3 years. He had cancer as well. And then he came over to visit me in Cairns when I lived in Queensland, and he passed away in Cairns. He didn't pass away at home. And so my mum flew the whole family over to be, with him in hospital in Cairns. And it hit my mum like a ton of bricks, as it would, and me, all of us. My dad was such a huge spirit, huge soul. So he passed away at the end of 2018, and my mum wasn't coping, so we had to leave Queensland to come over here to help my mum. And then as soon as we got here was when Bear got diagnosed as well. And in between that, I also lost my grandfather to cancer. And the strange thing about all of those is that my dad, so my 8th house cusp is Taurus. My dad is a Taurus. Bear was a Taurus. My first boyfriend was a Taurus. He also passed away. My grandfather's a Taurus. Bear's dad's a Taurus. Bear's grandfather's a Taurus. My other grandfather's a Taurus. Every single male in my life is a Taurus. And unfortunately, at that time, it seemed that when Uranus was in Taurus, it was going over my 8th house. And that's when people started to pass away. I'm sorry you lost your dad, Lisa. I'm really sorry. Yeah, Erica, it was. It was terrible what they said. But, people are stupid at times. Thank you, Julia. I know you've all been so understanding of what I've been going through. I'm so glad that I've come back and that you're still here. Oops. Yeah, the beach in Seychelles is amazing. That really not a coincidence. It's very, very specific. Kristen says he passed more smoothly at home. Wow, I know. He really wanted to be at home. When he was in the hospital, he had a stroke and he fell down on the floor, and I remember just picking him up with all of my might, going, "Quick, we've got to get out of here before the nurses and doctors see they're not going to let you go." And I grabbed him and I put him in a wheelchair and put him in the car, and we raced home. So I'm so glad. In hospital, he might have gotten stuck and not crossed over. He heard you, but not every word. He heard it on a soul level, but his body was in very bad shape. It was, and I actually thought that too. He was in a really bad way, but he knew the love that we shared, and with the children and with myself. But I had a feeling that he didn't really hear or understand what I was saying. I had the feeling that he was having a DMT release and enjoying what was going on into the next life. Yeah, our daughter Ava, she was only 19 when Bear passed away, Kristen, and she went through way too much. Her and her dad were so close that it doesn't surprise me that he would be talking about her. I'd be completely lost without her, and I've got older children, but it's undoubtedly, it doesn't surprise me that he's talking about Ava. Yes, I will put myself in Epsom salts, but sometimes when I put myself in Epsom salts, I can't move for like 3 days. Oh, Erica, thank you for telling me. Like, that was very specific, and I know that he would talk about that beach, especially not just because of the memorial, but it was his favorite beach ever, and it was a weird beach. It wasn't really a beach that you would think would be your favorite. Tani, my son has a double grand trine Star of David in his chart. He's hard worker, but he's lazy, won't do any more than the least required. Yeah, that's the trines for you. Frame the feathers and shells on your wall. Today, I framed 3 feathers and put them on my wall. In fact, I'm going to go and grab something real quickly and just show you. This is the last feather that I didn't frame today. I have a beautiful friend, my friend Nikki, paints oil and acrylic on feathers. So this is a macaw feather, and here is Eric and Princess, the two macaws that Bear looked after. So I've had this in my hand most of the day. I've framed two others, black cockatoo with a red tail, which had a black cockatoo painted on it. But this is my favourite, so I'm just figuring out how to actually do it because it's so huge. But yeah, that's an actual macaw feather, and my friend painted it. Isn't it just beautiful? So there's the feather. Oops. Okay, Kristen, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming. It's been ages. I wonder what the time is. Oh my goodness, it's 3:30 here. Yeah, my 8th house Taurus is poo. Yeah, it has been a lot of loss. But I think maybe losing the transformation of understanding loss is going to help me with this. That's how I feel at the moment, anyway. Thank you, Julia. Yeah, I never spoke about all the losses that happened at that time and what was going on. I was just so focused on trying to fix, which was, something that you want to do, but something that's you can't do with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Michi the Queen, hello. Hello. Ooh, ooh. I've thought about you many times. I hope you're really well. Thank you for coming on. Oops. Now things are going fast. Angels do love to play with feathers, don't they? And dragonflies. Isn't it a beautiful feather? Isn't it gorgeous? Gorgeous. The intricacy, and to paint on a feather, like, just magnificent. And from one of these actual birds as well. Oh, she's the best artist. I'll put a link up or something onto her page because you can buy her feathers. They're just gorgeous. Yes, she does have a feather shop online. Jules, I will definitely put that up. Red Earth Dreaming is her art studio, and she does painting on feathers, on snake skins, on all different things. She's amazing. Jennifer Yandel, how do you turn a degree into a determining distance? Okay, so say I'm looking at the 4th house cusp, which is the end of the matter, which should show us generally most of the time where a person might be. Say the degree of that is 27 degrees. I don't turn that degree into whole sign degrees like I do when I'm doing the planets. So if it was 27 degrees, I would go 2.7 miles or 0.27 miles, 2.7 miles, 270 miles. Literally as simple as that. So you use the rulers or the house cusp degrees, sorry, and any repetitive degrees as well that are a part of it, that are in the rulerships, and simply just do that. 0.27, 2.7, 27, whatever the degree is, start small and go bigger. Excuse me. You were born on Mother's Day and close to her. You were out of state when she passed. I was on the phone with Dad to see if Mum got the Mother's Day flower. That's when he found her on the chair. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's horrible. Chua Dawson. G'day, mate. So good to see you. Michi, I'm so happy to see you too. I don't know why I've been thinking about you a whole lot. I think maybe I might need to do a reading for you as well. Maybe you have a question. Probably not now. I'm going to have to finish it up soon. It's nearly 4 in the morning. I'm gaining qualities Bear already had. You're going through this to gain qualities for you to be able to be with him. Yeah, that makes sense. He was one smart cookie. He knew things without having to study them or anything. Oh, we have another feather painter. I think it's just fabulous. I can't even paint on a canvas, let alone a feather. What house system do I prefer for crime charts? Placidus or Regiomontanus? They're pretty much the same, but I found that Regio is really good. But Placidus for me is perfect because I always want to see the degrees of the house cusps. Nikki, the beautiful friend who painted this, actually does whole sign and Hellenistic astrology. She works with me sometimes, and it can work out as well, even though we've got whole sign degrees, so we haven't got specific directions and mileage. It gives a whole nother interpretation on what happened. So that's interesting. I have so many soul sisters and soul brothers out there. I'm so glad that I'm back. I haven't spoke to anybody properly for such a long time. I like Regiomontanus. I don't know. I don't know. Regiomontanus a lot of the time seems to be more accurate, but also with Placidus, depending on where you're looking. Like I had a case not long ago that was in the Netherlands. And when you do charts that are either in like Finland or the Netherlands or certain places like that, when you do Placidus, sometimes the house cusps are massive. So I did a chart, the Placidus one, and this one was in Finland, and the first house was like the first to the fourth. It was ridiculous. And the seventh house was huge, and then there was all these little slithers of other houses. And I just couldn't quite wrap my head around it. So then went to Regiomontanus, which changes that. So that's predominantly why I usually go to Regio if I need to, because if it's a different country. I hope that answers Bridget. 2:42 p.m. in Oklahoma. 3:45 a.m. in Perth, WA. Shining Bearable, hey. Hello, so good to see you. I look well. Thank you. That's because my glasses are on. Before, I did not look well. I love you, Erica, and I'm happy that you're here too. I can't wait to hear from you. Being born on Mother's Day doesn't mean anything astronomical. Well, that really depends on on the aspects that's going on that particular day. Um, in general, no, not really, unless you've got planets and etc. that are exactly the same. Then yeah, then yes, I would say so. Melanie likes whole sign for natals, but it doesn't seem accurate for crime. No, no, it doesn't. You just need to learn how to turn those degrees into whole sign natural degrees. So if you're using Taurus and say it's 10 degrees of Taurus for something, then you need to make it 30. Aries is 0 to Taurus, 30, and then add 10. So then you've got 40. So that's the only time that I sort of, it's not whole sign, it's just using the natural zodiac. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I know you meant in astrology. The mead. Um, I'd have to look at your chart and your mum's chart, and then I could tell you. But in general, Mother's Day, it can fall on different days and stuff occasionally. I think William Lilly tells us to do the Regio chart for horary charts. I bought this book too, but I bought it in the wrong language. Oh no. Old English. I've got quite a few books that are written in. It's really hard to read. I've got a Christian astrology book that I love. It's about horary, weirdly, and that is oldie worldy, really old. But when you really dig into it, it's quite fascinating how much they knew back then, even in that oldie worldy English language. Why is the moon in Scorpio a thing? It's terrible. I don't know why it's a thing. It can be an annoying thing. But I suppose the good thing is that it doesn't last too long in Scorpio. 345 cursed forward movement. Oh, 345. Duh. Disney. Yeah, whole sign's definitely got its place, for sure, especially with perfection years and stuff like that. Thank you, Shining. I love talking. Toy Thomas, my ex passed on my first Mother's Day, 20th anniversary. Mother's Day sucks donkey balls now. I'm so sorry, and I can understand because Mother's Day also here falls on Bear's birthday. But that to me is not a coincidence. It's a meaningful coincidence. So I know that it would suck for you and doesn't feel nice, but I truly believe that's the connection that you and your mum have, that timing of that day. That's what we need to figure out with this astrology. It's all about timing and the fact that your ex passed on your first Mother's Day, the 20th anniversary. It's your ex showing and your mum showing that they've seen each other, they're together, or showing you that there's more to life. I feel that really strongly. But yeah, I am sorry. I'm sorry as well because it doesn't feel like that. Grief is not nice at all, ever. But yeah, it is. It's all about timing. It's all about recognizing timing, recognizing that time is relevant to something. We can have coincidences, but meaningful coincidences are a whole lot different, I feel. I'm here, you're welcome to have a reading. The best reading to get from me is to ask me questions. It can be about anything to do with your life, but I can answer questions the best. Or if you've lost something, I can find them really well too. I have chills head to toe. This is so much better than seeing a therapist. Oh, I'm so glad. I thought so too. That's why I'm not seeing a therapist. Like, yeah, you know a whole lot more than me, lady. You watched, what I watched, and you've found a whole bunch of missing people and talked to people that have lost their loved ones. I don't think so. So yeah, no, I tend to agree. But no, I don't mean that. Anyone that sees a therapist, good on you. I can't do it. I just can't. This must be cold by now. Oh, still a little bit warm. It's always good when you get the chills. I've got the chills because it's fucking freezing. I got this jumper today from the second-hand shop, like I said. I think it was hand knitted. So cozy. Okay, let me read. Bridget, if suicide is present in a chart, will the ruler of the victim conjunct the DC? It could, but not necessarily. You would more likely see it conjunct or in the 12th house because that's like our inward enemies. The universe tries to stop me from talking. The 7th house is public enemies, people that really don't like us from the outside perspective. When it's in the 12th house, it's the enemy within yourself. So you look more to the 12th house or in the 12th house, Bridget. So I hope that makes sense. Juniper, I always think of Suzanne Morphew every Mother's Day. Yeah, me too. Me too. Do I think Barry will ever get arrested for her unaliving? No. No, I don't. I think he's got some sort of immunity or something. So he should have been done well and truly by now. There's so much evidence to say that he did something to her. They're not even looking. To me, it looks like they haven't been looking hardly at all since they knew everything that was going on. Did they go to where he was working and building that wall? My feeling is that she's around there. I think the map went to there as well. Oh no, they found, didn't they? They found her, didn't they? Did they find her? I don't know. Now I'm confused. No, but I don't think he'll get done. No, I hate to say that, Juniper. No, I don't. Jules had a Vedic astrology reading. Came away feeling like we're living on a rail with very little free will. Everything was in that reading. Yeah. It does feel like we have not much free will. Some astrologers will say you've always got free will. You can change things, and there's certain things that you can change. Like knowing certain aspects in your chart that are happening, or transits, and proactively trying to change them. You can do that. But to me, from everything that I've learned astrologically, it's set in stone. The minute you're born or the minute something happens, it's reflected in the heavens. And as sad and horrible as it sounds, no, I don't think we do have very much free will at all. I'm glad you had a good reading. Sorry, this is not like a smoker's cough or COVID or anything like that. Whenever I start talking about astrology, universe tries to shut me down. I have Mercury conjunct Saturn in the 9th house. It's like Saturn's going, no, stop, don't talk about death. Silk, hello. Astrology and tarot have helped me much more than therapy ever did. Yeah. It's so personal, isn't it? It's so accurate all the time. How can a therapist be so accurate, unless they read your tarot cards or your chart? Yeah, that's to me, that's what I hope to do with my astrology. Like, I've also learnt psychological astrology a long time, and that was literally about discussing things just openly out in the open like we are now. So I'm really, really glad that it's good therapy for you. Chihuahua Dawson. Every time I see your name, it's like Chihuahua Dawson. Sorry, cursed. Will I ever see my grandson? My son keeps him from me. Oh, Gibbo. I would need to look at a chart. But my instant feeling on that is that your son's got a lot of growing up to do. I don't know how old is he is. Is he 29? Is he having his Saturn return? Just a little bit over that. He's got some sort of resentments or something that he needs to let go of. I do think you will see your grandson again, but can you send me your chart and I can look at your transits and answer that properly for you? I am intuitive, but I'm not psychic. I'm not a medium. I don't know. My general feeling is I can feel the Saturn return or something that happened around 29, and he's got some resentment, but that will go away when he realizes your best intentions. I'm sorry. That would be the worst. Can I talk about what indicates accident versus crime? Well, with accidents, you very often see Uranus next to a ruler of the victim, or Uranus in the 8th house of death, conjunct another planet. It's got to be in the picture, though. It can't just be Uranus in the 8th house. That's not going to tell us if it's an accident. But yeah, definitely when Uranus is around and near angles, near ruling planets, then it can show an accident. But the confusing thing about that is that you're not quite sure if it's actually a true accident or whether they were doing something bad and then accidentally killed or hurt somebody. So that one can be a bit tricky. But yeah, Uranus is where you want to look at Aquarius for accident versus crime. Crime always involves Mars, Pluto, Venus. Venus and Mars are inevitably intertwined. But yeah, an accident is definitely Uranus. Yeah, my throat chakra's going. Definitely, it does it. It's done it ever since I've been an astrologer. It's annoying. I've worked on my throat chakra, but sometimes the universe just doesn't want to let it out. I would love to sit, Melanie, I'd love to sit here and talk about astrology all day, but what's the time? Oh my God, it's 4 o'clock. I'm supposed to get up in a couple of hours and do work and stuff. Anyway, but I could definitely sit here talking about astrology all day and all night too. Toy Thomas was just sipping on some coffee and the phone lit up and she almost fell off her bed trying to get it open and get in here. I could listen to her all day and night. That's really sweet. Thank you. A lot of people don't want to listen to anything I say. Gibbo, yeah, I have. Last night I did, 10 charts, I think, on all the times for Natal and SoDo. And I'll just instantly tell you that my draw on that was that Jennifer SoDo needs to be arrested big time. She was highly involved. I believe that she was in the vehicle. I believe she knew that Madeline was going to be killed. I think it's possible that she even helped. And yeah, she's a psychotic hose beast. So yeah, you'll see, if you have a look, there's like an hour and a half video from last night about that one. Bridget says, if Gemini is on the 7th house cusp and Venus conjuncts Mercury, how would you interpret that? In terms of a crime chart, you mean? So Gemini is on the 7th house cusp and Venus conjuncts Mercury. It depends where those two are, but I would interpret that as there's two people that have done something and one of them is a woman, unless Venus happens to be the ruler of the ascendant, which is the victim. If that's the case, then the chart's correct. They know each other. Yeah, but Mercury to me always indicates two people, usually a brother, cousins, neighbours, someone like that, people that are relatively close but that know about what happened, maybe not involved but know what happened. And I would say with Venus conjuncting Mercury, it would be a female that knows what happened, so a male and a female. June Nepal says, when I'm looking at the angles on the chart, should I also check the fixed stars for crime charts on the cusps of the angles if the ruling planet of the suspect and victim are in the house of the angles? By all means, look at the fixed stars for sure. I don't, like I said, because I just can't, because it's just too busy. My brain can't step into the chart like it does without it. But yeah, absolutely. And I would never ever say not to do it. Like this research, what we're doing is relatively new, and who am I to say that wouldn't work? So go for it. Chuck the fixed stars on there. Put the asteroids. Put everything that, if you can see it and if you can jump into that chart with it on. So yeah, definitely. Thank you, Toy Thomas, about the video last night. It was interesting. Definitely very interesting. I can't find my Art Deco ring. Suggestions on where I should look? I would really need a chart for that. If you can, I've got a few people sending me emails, but you can email me if you like, or send me an email with the question, where is my Art Deco ring, Ginger? And then I'll tell you where to look. I have a pretty good success rate with that too, so hopefully we'll be able to find that. Third or the fourth house. Yeah, if it was the third house especially, then you're really definitely looking at two people and a female. Well, a male and a female. Does my new book include personal astrology or just forensic? I would love to know more about my mystic rectangle, but not much out there about it. It's not really directed towards the major aspects, but that's not to say that I can't put it in there. I can give it a go. Another chapter. So passion flower. Thank you. It'll take me a bit longer to write it, but I'll pop that in there. But it's not really about personal astrology. It's more like how to do the forensic astrology along with how to do the forensic astrology. But I can definitely put major aspects in there because that isn't touched on a lot, especially mystic rectangles. Gibbo, my friend I met from Lafayette, Indiana, that I met on chat, came to Sydney and stayed for a week. She had the best time, and we always had 2 girls from Delphi on our minds. Oh, that would have been so lovely. That doesn't happen very often, getting to meet each other. Yeah, I wish I could find out what's going on in that case. That's lasting way too long as well. Like, how much crap is that guy going to talk about? Last one. That Odinism stuff didn't sit well with me whatsoever. Although finding out that the prison officers and stuff were into it, that was weird. The week after I found that out, my daughter got approached by an Odinist, and because she's gay and very, very pale, and she had a Sex Pistols t-shirt on, anarchy and stuff like that, he thought that he could indoctrinate her into this Odinism, and then it turned into like white supremacy, and he was like, "Me and you, sister." She was like, "No, get the hell away from me." So that was really weird. But Richard Allen, he's so full of shit. Like, there's just no way. That was one of the first charts that I ever did, and the line went straight to his work. What's the chances of that? Unless the actual killer works at the CVS pharmacy, that dude did it. So I don't know what the hold up is. Yeah, I need to do a horary for the missing jewellery. So I'd need to look for the second house cusp, which is jewellery, or anything that's in the second house, or Venus. But I'm not sure what time and when that was, so I can't tell you, unfortunately. I wish I had the ability to see a chart in my head immediately if you just told me the time. That'd be a whole lot easier. But if you do send me an email, please do. I can definitely help. I think I've got I don't know, maybe a 90% success rate with finding things. So that's the one thing that I am pretty good at. Is there a chart for the rise of feminine energy we're seeing in the world? I don't know about if there's a chart, but I think there's aspects going on. I'm definitely seeing it, obviously. I think Neptune is responsible for a lot of this. I think is Neptune at 29 degrees at the moment? Or it's hovering around. It's going to move away, and Pluto. So when those heavy energies of Neptune and Pluto finally move off into the next sign, I think the veil will be lifted and we'll see everything for what it truly is, and that is that females need to do some more stuff. We can't live in this patriarch world anymore. I'm not purely a feminist. I don't hate men. I love men. You know, I don't love men. That sounded really bad. I love men. No, men are important. Men are valued, and equally the same, but femininity is really, really growing, and I think that Neptune veil's lifting, and we're seeing through the bullshit and everything and seeing the truth of what's going on. So, yeah, I do think it's a big part of what's going on at the moment. Would you mind if I emailed you sometime with questions? No, of course not. You're welcome to email me. Meet, says, yes, I agree. Men are needed. Absolutely. There's people that say, that men are ridiculous and, females all the way. Life's not like that. We need both. So, yeah, they're absolutely needed, but we're being listened to a little bit more and things are changing, thank goodness. There are two different types of Odin worshippers, the ones who are racist and the ones who are not. Yeah. Never understood why racist and Nazi Germany decided to take that old beautiful religion and flip it. Me either. Well, I sort of do. Psychotic Aryan Tauruses tend to do things like that. Hitler. Aquarius area will be fascinating. I can't wait. Can't wait for my Uranus to go figure out everything. Hope that happens. I love that my daughters are living in a world with more choices. Yes. My children have decided not to have children because they're like, the world's so bad, everything, it's going to end and they're not going to have anything. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to be a grandma. And that scares me more than anything. I don't feel that way. I feel like the world just continues on the way that it is. It's always bad. It's always good. We continue to give birth, and from what I can see, my children haven't suffered through this world. Well, they have in different ways, but the world's not going to explode, and this whole thing of I don't want to bring children into the world. I don't quite understand it. But again, I have Jupiter in Pisces in the 5th house, so that could just be me. But I love that, Jules. I love that your daughters are living in a world with more choices. Me too. I love that as well. You're welcome, Ginger. My email, Bridget, Kirsty Louise 1974 at iCloud.com. And it should be on my YouTube page somewhere as well. I think Venus is the Juniper. I think Venus and Uranus are going to play a huge role in the outcome of the elections. Yep. Unexpected events and femininity. I don't think Venus is very happy every time I look at her. She looks pissed. If Venus represents the female that's running, she probably is pissed. She's got to run against that crazy person. Oh, who may be nice. I don't know. I'm not getting into that. No, he's not. I couldn't resist asking my deck about why you were having trouble with your throat when you talk about astrology on here. And interestingly, I've got the Queen of Wands reversed and the Hermit. Ooh. I thought that was interesting since Queen of Wands is intuitive with esoteric knowledge and the Hermit is about sharing esoteric knowledge. So, yeah, I can see that as that. Yeah, it just literally cuts it off. When I was doing the one last night about Natal and SoDo, my voice, it would not come back. And I was like, nothing was there. I had to stop it. And then really, really try and get that throat chakra working. And it took a long time. So thank you for looking at that for me. It's much appreciated. I love the Norse mythology in Scandinavia. It's heart-wrenching to see this evolution occurring within it. It is, isn't it? Stupid, disgusting, silly stuff. Yeah, it is an attempt to repress it. I don't know whether the attempt is from me, from my Mercury and my Saturn, or from the universe going, perhaps you shouldn't say that, or perhaps that's the truth. Still haven't quite figured that one out yet. Venus's feelings are very valid. Yes, they are. They really are. Meet you the Queen. Wow. Yeah, I've got a lot of crap that I talk about. I know. So, anyone that had a horary question, but Erica first, because I need to help Erica. I think Michi might have something that she wants to ask. I'm not. I might be wrong, but I feel like that you do. But the other people that have questions about horary, definitely email me, and I can do that for you, no problems. Yeah, Venus surprised us all. I don't know how you guys feel with astrology, but it's, for me, some planets I just like go. I don't even want to look at it. Venus tends to be one of them. I don't know why. Obviously, I look at it in crime charts because it's relevant to the female and etc. But there's a couple of points in charts that I don't really, I can't get on board with, and that's Venus and the nodes, the north and south nodes. Maybe it's because I haven't figured out what mine mean. But yeah, I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but some planets are just like, don't want to look at those. My throat problems, could it be linked to my 8th house? Well, yeah, I mean, it is Taurus on the cusp. I am trying to impart information, so that definitely makes sense as well. Yep, for sure. Yeah, that's interesting. That does make a lot of sense. Perhaps it's the universe telling you you're on the right path in a weird Saturn-like way, restricting your voice. That's how it feels. Feels like Saturn's going, no, you will shut up. Stop telling the truth. It's happened ever since I've done astrology, but I just keep pushing through it. I'm like, okay, well, whatever it means, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to keep going. I've been on here 3.5 hours. It feels literally like about half an hour. Love talking to you guys. I'm going to have to come on again, but learn how to put different screens up and do charts and stuff while we're talking. I remember I found your channel from your look into the Gannon Stout case. I was worried about that little boy. Oh, Jules, that case was crazy. I just had to keep on doing more and more and more. It was like and it was following her around. That's why I started to think that maybe she was looking at the chart and seeing where I was seeing and then moving him. It surprised me that he was in Florida. I certainly didn't expect that, but all the rest of it was just uncannily weird. That was probably the most impactful set of charts that I've ever done. Poor Gannon. Michi, I'm going to send you my natal chart to look at when you have the time. Could you share with me what sticks out? I absolutely can, because I feel as though I've got a bunch of messages for you, and I have had that feeling for a couple of weeks now. So 100%. Please, Michi, please send it for sure. I feel that way about Uranus at the moment, probably because it's transiting my 8th house and making me feel crazy. So much turmoil. Yeah, Uranus transiting the 8th house is difficult. It is difficult. It's very chaotic. Today was the best. This made my day. Oh, I'm so glad. That makes me so happy. Meet G. I missed you in real life. I have no coffee mates. I missed you too. I don't have any coffee mates either. Even though I'm drinking coffee in giant things. I love my coffee and I love my chats. So I'm definitely going to come on more so we can chat more. And then you will have coffee mates. All of us. It's still warm. Hooray. Juniper. Because Taurus rules the throat and neck, I think the voice as well. Yeah. Yeah, very true. And being in that 8th house is, definitely trying to pass along that information. That really does make sense. You're welcome, Michi. It has been lovely. Thank you. Thank you for coming in and having a chat with me. Gibbo's down. She's down for it. Toy, Thomas, coffee and love hearts and stars. All my favourite things. Jules, oh, thank you so much. $20. That is so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. That's so lovely. So lovely of you to do that. Thank you. Well, I suppose I probably should try and get myself to bed since I have work in 2.5 hours. Thank you, Jules, and you're welcome for what I do. I love doing it and I will always do it, and I really, really appreciate your lovely donation of $20. That's so much. So much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I'll probably leave it here. It's been 3.5 hours, and I'm just so glad that I did jump on. Oh, okay. Here, hang on. I can type it, I think. That should be the email to Lila. Thank you, Michi. Thank you, Gibbo. I'm so glad that I caught you guys too. You're welcome, Bridget. No worries. And Demid, no worries at all. When I come on in, I don't know, maybe during the week I'll come back on again. Try and figure out a system where I can put up some charts and stuff and we can actually do some readings, maybe some horary readings or some natal stuff. Good. Okay, you got it, Delilah. Thank you. Thank you so much for everything that you said that you were going to send me. I really appreciate that, and I will put that into action. Passion flower, goodbye. Mwah. Have a lovely day. Big hugs and blessings to you. Yep, I'm going to go and get some sleep now. And yeah, and I've just really happy to have come back and seen all the same beautiful people. Thank you so much for hanging around for all this time waiting for me. Thank you, Juniper. You're the best. I love watching your videos. Keep doing them. Okay. Good night, everybody. Love you, Gibbo. You take care. You stay strong too. Toy Thomas, you have a lovely day. I will rest well, and you will see me soon. Delilah, good night. Lovely, lovely talking to you all again. And during the week, I'll come back on and we'll have another therapeutic session. No more therapy needed for us, eh? Okay, off to bed I go. I've got like a millimetre of my coffee. I'm going to drink that and then off I go to bed. You're welcome, Mutilated Hands. Love the name. Love the name. Good night. You're welcome. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sticking around and being here. Thank you to everybody that's given a donation. That's really sweet, and I really appreciate that so much. So good night. Night, Michi. I will speak to who we know I'm going to speak to on email. We'll look at some charts, and I'll be back during the week. I'm going to I will do another chart on Sebastian as well, with a really definitive place. But also, I really would like to look into that stepfather making the phone call 3 hours away from where he was located. That is interesting to me and could show us some things too. So, yeah, email me, let me know, and I'll pop back on and you'll see me soon. Take care, everyone. Keep looking at the stars. Love you all. Bye. How do I even stop this? Oh, here. Okay. Bye.